Hey everyone, welcome back to the IWP Network, or if it's your first time, welcome hanging out with us. Thank you so much for choosing this podcast, and feedback is always welcome. So make sure to check the links below for all social media links, audio and video versions of this show, and merch. We look forward to hearing from you and hearing that feedback, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, 91. That was some Billy Trey. I love that song. It's a good tune.
That countdown opener kind of reminds me, like in my head, I'm singing Lady Gaga's Telephone. I don't know if you feel that at all.
Okay. He said it reminds you of India with Power. When Power used to go on, the countdown.
Yeah, it does it's very Fire Pro, like when the music that plays before.
Yeah,
when
I think it's the old Coliseum video thing.
Yeah. The two pillars.
Is it in one of your presets, Alex?
It was in the pillars, and then Kempa Terra swinging the guy with the full Nelson.
So here we are, episode number 91, creeping up on the one bill. We're here to talk about a lot of fun things. We're going to talk Camp Leapfrog, aka Love Frog, which airs tonight on IWTV. You can head over right now. Use offer code Leapfrog. Watch it for free for 5 days. You can watch tonight.
How about that?
And then you can watch the other four. It's 4 or 5 now.
Ooh.
I think
a lot of camps.
Yeah, I think on IWTV, I think there's 4.
4, and then there's a few lives on Facebook you can go watch.
Tons of stuff on IWTV.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The future is bright at the Camp Leapfrog, and tonight's gonna get sexy. So
you want
to cuddle up with your loved ones and watch some Love Frog? It's gonna get real sexy,
Watch it with a fan because that's how hot it is.
Yeah, you might want to turn the AC on tonight because Camp Love Frog is going to get real hot and steamy. We're also going to talk NXT Vengeance. They're bringing that back.
Also tonight, at the time of this recording. Vengeance Day, yeah,
Vengeance Day.
So it's Vengeance, and what was the other one? Judgment Day, and they just put it together.
Can you believe WWE? They're counter-programming us. Can you believe that?
It's like, you made it.
It's all the hype. That's what I'm saying. It's all the hype for Love Frog. They had to counter-program us. That's all it is.
And then we have some breaking news. Reported breaking news. It's not official yet. Taya Valkyrie signing to WWE.
Oh, you're surprised about that?
Report to NXT.
Yeah,
that's what they say.
To report to NXT.
Yeah, that's what I read. It was just breaking on 434. So
interesting.
Yeah, kind of makes sense.
Oh, if she cost Shotzi and Amber Moon that Dusty Classic. Does
she show up tonight? I don't know.
Yeah, I want Shotzi and Ember to win it. The Dusty Classic.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll get into all those matches in a moment. And then also let's let me pull up the sponsorship. I always forget to do that. Thank you so much.
Abaddon Studios. I'm gonna have it recorded.
Yeah, Abaddon
Tattoo Studios. Friendly environment.
Close.
Which it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very sterile, clean tattoo shop located in Pike Grove, Pennsylvania. So I can do all from memory.
There you go. So it's a unique professional experience nestled in the small town of Pine Grove, Pennsylvania. They provide high-quality tattoos and piercings in a relaxed, professional, and sterile environment. The links are below. You can get a tattoo. We just gave our second $100 gift card away.
Oh, wow. Nice.
We have 3 more to give out. So
that's a good chunk if you want to get a tattoo, unless you want to get a big back piece or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a good chunk out of it.
But they do amazing work. You can follow them on social media. All their tattoo artists on Instagram are hyperlinked, so you can check out all the artists. And
it's right off 81. If anyone wants to know,
it's a nice place. So really excited for those guys that sponsor us. We have a bunch of gift cards to give away. So we'll be doing that periodically throughout the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months.
We'll do something there.
Yeah, we might have a banner to give away soon.
Oh.
Well, we just did our other 2 banners. Well, maybe we'll give away some T-shirts. We have some new T-shirts, TeePublic and Teespring. Teespring is going to be more or less just the main logo that's hot right now, like our main thing. And then the TeePublic is where you can get all the secondary logos and all the back logos.
The
archive stuff. And right now, TeePublic is having a sale. You can get merchandise for 35% off.
Which means all shirts $13. If they're a regular
T-shirt.
If they're baseball tee, they're going to be a little more.
Yeah, but they're nice T-shirts, and
Yeah.
we have a brand new logo that Alex did that makes that the Raw is War logo,
Oh,
which is really cool.
yeah.
And then we have the NWO logo. We have Wolfpack and regular. Yeah, so we have a lot of cool stuff.
Like the LWO one.
Yeah, or a BWO. Oh, we should have made it blue. I should have told him to make it blue. Fuck.
I think I can do that.
Yeah.
That kind of color.
We could blue it up. What a missed opportunity. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, do all of them. Yeah.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Oh well.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Just probably hit negative. It'll look close enough.
Yeah. So let's get right into Camp Love Frog, which will air tonight at 7:15 Independent Wrestling TV on Facebook, and we have the Open Swim.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There you go. The Open Swim is almost like the free for all back in the day. It's the pre-game show.
Yes, and that'll be free for everyone on Facebook.
Yep. Facebook.com/independent wrestling.
Well, let's break down what's going to happen there. There's hiding.
Notes there. Sorry, I'm hiding. So 2 matches announced for the Open Swim. You're going to have Joey Ibanez against the Degeneracy Cleanser Francis Wright, who, we have.
I like his tag name there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is his debut on Leapfrog, right? I know Joey was in Christmas Trios, but this is Francis Wright's first time, I think.
No, I think he was on
the Tadpole match, wasn't he?
Well, no, he was on the first live. He was on
Yeah.
the first live, so he tagged with the spoiler.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
I forget
Against Crush Cakes.
No.
Yeah. Oh no. Big Bad Dirty
Tyrant. Yeah, that's
Big Bad Dirty Dennis. Yeah.
I always want to say Don Jardine for the spoiler, but I know it's the younger spoiler. It's not Don Jardine.
Don Jardine's about 70 now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good.
It'd be great if he did show up.
Yeah.
With his super tight mask.
I would never count anything out. I love Frog. When 911 showed up, anything's possible.
Absolutely true.
Especially when those portals to hell open up. You never
know.
Yeah. Kane.
Yeah.
It's got to be Kane. Jinx.
Yep.
And so I think Francis Wright would also be the maybe the official wrestler Truth Behind Illusion if we're going to tie it into the podcast.
Yeah.
With his tinfoil hat, he I think his conspiracy du jour right now is that Abs' abs are not real.
Oh, well, that is a dumb conspiracy. We all know they completely are.
And then our other match, returning to Camp Leapfrog, Violence. I know he was one of your favorites in the first one, Tony. Killian, and then he came just short against Warhorse at Halloween. He'll be taking on the Boar, who is being accompanied by Erica Lee. Mm-hmm. The Boar lasted over a half hour in the Cybernetico. But here's a tie-in. He was eliminated by Killian McMurphy, who, again, as we just mentioned, lost to Violence in the very first Camp Leapfrog. Two
Camp Leapfrogs, I feel, Violence stole the show.
Mm-hmm.
He was in both matches that just blew your socks off. So excited for everyone to see him for free today on Facebook. You can get your first experience of Violence, and then you can also use that code Leapfrog and watch it tonight for 5 free trial.
And the Boar is very different. Like a lot of indie guys, you're gonna have smaller guys, guys who may be doing a lot more aerial stuff. This is a big dude. This is a house fight. Well, at least half a house fight.
Yeah,
half house fight. And Erica's pretty tough. She wrestled in the ACW.
Yeah.
Erica also won the Cybernetico at Fight.
Whoa, how about that? I wasn't aware.
Mm-hmm. Where is that replay available yet for the Fight Forever?
It's available on Fight still, I believe.
Yeah, I think you can watch it throughout the whole event. I think that whole event is still on Fight.
It's not,
but I don't know if I don't think it's chunked out by block.
On Fight, it's not chunked up or a broken stream because the stream went down a bit on YouTube. So I don't think it's fully on YouTube. But Fight, it's completely free and it's still a 24-hour dealio.
All right, maybe we'll have to do timestamps or something to try to figure everything out there. Try to figure out exactly where we lie.
If you missed that Cybernetico, if you missed it, sorry to talk over there. If you missed it, you have to check it out. It was excellent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And then on to the main show proper, which will be on independentwrestling.tv tonight, Sunday, Valentine's Day.
Link is below.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And so, speaking of Erica Lee, not in a match on the main show, but she's in the Camp Love Frog dating game.
Whoa, hey now.
That's right.
Also, links for all Camp Leapfrog social media below, as well as High Tension Wrestling. So you can find all that below as well.
Thank you, sir.
Anytime.
I wonder who else is in the dating game.
Yeah. Is this going to be like a spin-off of MTV's dating game, or
Singled Out?
Singled Out would have been cool to do.
It would have been. Or like the Blame game. So you better remember that one.
Well,
This is like the old school 70s.
Remember Singled Out where like everyone was like a huge like mosh pit type thing, and then they didn't get eliminated by chunks, like one giant battle royal to find out who makes it to the next wave.
Jenny McCarthy, then they got Carmen
Electra. Yeah.
It'd be fun to do like a blind date or like a Next.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Next? That was such a funny show.
I'm going to age myself. There was a show in like the early 90s called Studs. I think they did it with like Married with Children. I just remember they would like throw pillows at people.
I was on TikTok and came across someone who put a clip up of WWE on Family Feud. Yeah. And everyone's in full gear except Papa Shango has no face paint on, but he's wearing his full costume.
That's weird.
That's like sometimes you would go to the house shows. I remember when the Spectrum and Hakushi didn't have his tattoos.
Yeah,
it had to be a pain to put on.
And they had to go and head to head was Macho Man versus HBK.
That was the Nasty Boys were always on.
Yeah, Tatanka versus I believe it was Papa Shango, and then it was the Big Boss Man versus Repo Man, and they both couldn't come up with an answer.
they did a bunch of those crossovers. Ray Combs, the host at the time, was a big wrestling fan. He was at one of the WrestleManias. He was friendly with Bobby Heenan. I think they were both from Indiana or Illinois or somewhere in the Midwest there. And then they also did one with WCW. It was like WCW.
They did a couple.
I think. Yeah, they did a bunch. My favorite thing back then, they did Double Dare with Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. And then they did another Double Dare with Mr. Perfect and Jim Duggan.
Oh, I gotta watch. I gotta look for that.
Yeah, the Heenan one's great. Like Monsoon backdrops him into one of the things. It was like great.
The big boogers. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to our first match here.
Yeah, match proper. We have Basic Becca against Love Doug.
I don't know what Basic Becca's gimmick is.
She's a very big fan of very big fan of scrunchies. Here's something.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Very, very recently, she is now the Chaotic Wrestling Women's Champion.
Very true.
And that is that's up in Massachusetts. It's kind of the successor to the Kowalski School and Kowalski's promotion up there. And Sasha Banks was one of the first Chaotic Women's Champion back when she was Mercedes KV. Now it's Becca. I think she's just Becca up there, not Basic.
Yeah.
But here she's Basic, and she'll be up against Love, Doug.
Love Doug. I'm not familiar with either, but I like their names so far.
Yeah.
Andrew, am I wrong? Are they in a shoot relationship?
That's a good question. I don't remember for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they are. I don't know.
Oh, we're shooting here.
Yeah.
I just know it was both their and I just know it's their debuts here for Leapfrog.
Yeah, they were fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would Love Doug's gimmicks be?
It's all about love, baby.
It's all about love.
I just kind of looked up
Casanova.
He's looking for love, isn't the thing?
Yeah. He's the he's like the real life Cupid. That's his thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love Doug.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Love Doug funny. That's what I was.
Love Doug.
He's getting beat up. He goes on the ring, and Quail Man comes
Yeah. and Silver Skeeter comes.
All right. Next match here.
Next match, not newcomers here. Two regulars in Camp Leapfrog. Ryan Nova. Sometimes he's wrestling, sometimes he's on commentary. And he's up against Kaya McKenna.
The real life witch.
Shoot witch, yeah.
Yeah.
She's into it.
This person's the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
This person's with this person.
Not like a witch, like as a mean person, but she
No, like a
witch.
yeah. And she had a great debut at GCW recently.
Yeah, on the Alley Cat show.
Yeah.
Hot girl shit.
We talked a lot about her. I believe I don't even know if it was on or off camera. I have so many conversations with you guys, but she's one of those type of people who show up, do all the ring work, does everything. Like,
that was
and
on the
finally,
show.
Yeah, she busts her ass all the time with everything. She just busts her ass.
Super cool person.
She does all of our graphics currently. And,
Oh, cool.
We ask so much of her, and she's just so very helpful. So yeah.
And then Ryan, a little background on Ryan Nova. He's a Ring of Honor guy, Ring of Honor dojo guy. He had to wear a chicken suit a couple of products ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna try to reach out to McKenna for Truth Behind Illusion.
Oh, cool. She was at Outbreak a few times.
We might have two wrestlers making an appearance on Truth Behind Illusion.
Wrestling personality.
Wrestling personalities. we're gonna have McKenna on to talk about Wiccan or like the witchcraft stuff, and we may have the other main man behind
Boy
Camp
referee.
Leapfrog here, Chris
Kid
Levine.
referee, sorry.
Kid referee, Chris Levine may come. He does a lot of cool stuff with Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh,
he has a lot of
cool.
fun stories, and he may come on and talk some spookiness with us. So I'm pretty excited about it.
And then we'll get Moxley to talk Bigfoot.
Yeah, Moxley talk about Bigfoot and loss of time.
Yeah.
I get Brian Alvarez for that one too.
Yeah.
He's a squadron.
All right.
So then we have the Speed Date Scramble match, and you have a few people here. You have Mr. Fanspasic, Twitch, Lucas Twitch DeSangrio. He's from the Monster Factory, the world famous Monster Factory in New Jersey, and the only pro wrestler with Tourette syndrome.
Oh, wow.
And
Is
then
that-
you have
I was looking for shooting. Is that shoot or is that gimmick?
The real deal.
It is. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is. It is.
he has I was looking into him too. He has a great T-shirt. It's like Mr. Fanspastic, but it's like the Fantastic Four logo.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I'm sold with that.
It has like an LT and a D because that's like his Twitch's nickname and his initials are L and D, and they're all in the four. And also in this scramble, Hot Dog Starks, who was part of Technical Team 2000 in the Christmas trios, he'll be in this scramble too. He's been pretty frequently working the New York and New Jersey indies right now. Another Camp Leapfrog regular, Max Zero. He was on Bump in the Ring. He was in the Monster Battle Royal, the full Battle Royal. When I first saw him, I was like, "Is that Mr. Zero?"
Yeah, is that?
But no, this is Max Zero.
I think I know that. I think he's been Outbreak. Was he in the Outbreak Contagion Cup?
I believe so.
Okay, then yeah, I know.
Cool.
And CC Boost also in this match. And somebody that you want to talk about that Cybernetico. There is a part of that Cybernetico, CC Boost, and somebody we'll be talking about later. Oh boy, when you watch that, and he did hit the scene at Sam Laterna's Slumber Party. It seems like he's been around forever though, CC Boost, but relatively new here, and he'll be in the match. And then Dan Champion,
Champion.
Big Dan.
Yeah.
Very much the veteran in this match, wrestling since 2004. Indie fixture in the Lehigh Valley area. He used to be Danny Rage. He used to team with a guy, JC Ryder, who never really did anything after that.
JC Ryder. I believe he was in PCWA back in the day. Not PCW, PCW. Sorry, Pennsylvania Championship Wrestling.
No, JC Ryder was Orange Cassidy.
Oh wait, JC Ryder. That's JR Ryder. Confused.
JR Ryder was way back in PCW.
Yeah.
It was like him and Blue Thunder back in the PCW days.
And Hungarian Barbarian.
Yeah, that Orange Cassidy be showing up everywhere. I don't know. He's a man of many faces. He's like the Lon Chaney of pro wrestling.
I don't know who Lon Chaney is. I know Dick Cheney.
Lon Chaney was the guy who did all the different faces, like the old school classic horror movies and stuff. He did like Wolfman and all those.
Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, he was vampire or Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lon Chaney.
Who did he ever beat? Who did Lon Chaney ever beat?
Who did he ever beat? He never won a King of the Ring.
And then you had Karloff. That limey prick. Love Ed Wood. It's a great movie. Then we have a four-way tag. And here's where we might have some more familiar names to us and the people who are around this area.
Brian's hands-down favorite tag team name in Leapfrog.
Favorite tag team name anywhere. Oreo Speedwagon is in
it's great.
Yeah. We need T-shirts. We need Oreo Speedwagon T-shirts. I don't know if they're available.
I hope that Nabisco never cracks down on them.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that they're in this match because it means they didn't get killed at Fight Forever because, oh, man.
Ooh,
wow. I thought Joshua Wavra was going to be out of commission for a while after that match at Effie's Big Gay Block.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be going up against Crush Cakes. Talked about them earlier, Pancakes and the Crusher, and Trajan Horn and Ron Voyage, whatever their name may be this time around.
Do they have a fancy name this time around?
I think they're sticking with Big Bad Booty Daddies.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're no longer Team Kimono 101.
That was a solid one though. I enjoyed that one.
Trajan's just a very entertaining human. Just, on or off camera, he is just someone who's fun to be around.
The pairing of him and Ron was just so perfect, and it wasn't even supposed to happen. Originally, it was supposed to be Tommy Vex and Trajan.
Okay, Tommy Vex, another Outbreak guy.
Yeah, he's also hilarious.
I have his shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
His average Joe shirt.
Okay, yeah.
And then somebody else whose shirt you have is in this match, Killian McMurphy and
I was just wearing the shirt, and then my box came in for Loot Crate, and I needed to wear Eddie for Valentine's Day, so I was wearing a Killian shirt, but I unfortunately swapped it out for the Eddie Guerrero. I'm sure you understand. I love you. You probably shoot on me, but and say F you. I go first, but you're right. Just don't open any more portals. We don't need that. Lawsuits are pending.
And then, which one of us is going to be a cat in this call? It's got to be Alex in the cat corner.
Yeah.
So then our next match is another tag match here. You have the Runway. Speaking of Camp Leapfrog fixtures, just steal the scene anytime they're anytime they're on screen, and they're going to be going up against 2/3 of the winning Christmas Trios team and 2/9. Now there's some math for you.
Ooh.
Of the winning side of the Cibernetico, the Pop Flyers, Molly McCoy and Boomer Hatfield.
There you go. They're good.
Yeah.
Seen them before.
And then for the Camp Leapfrog title, the reigning champion, a very good professional wrestler against Abs and Abby Jane. And this is a dissolution of a trio from Camp Leapfrog where a very good professional wrestler just abandoned his team and they lost in the semis. But now they're up against... I guess this is a handicap match, right? It seems like it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Is this match just going to be kind of like when Bobby Lashley would come out and have pose-offs to who had the better body? Because Abs and a very professional wrestler have very, very, very both. They're sculpted, they're chiseled out.
The physiques are similar. The physiques are very similar.
I've wrestled a very good professional wrestler.
Yeah,
a couple times in what was it called? EPWE Underground. It was in Allentown. It was on the one side of Allentown. They moved over to the other side of Allentown, and it kind of went down.
What was your experience?
It was pretty good.
Good match.
Yeah. He used to have a tag partner who was his brother.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was his shoe brother or not. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was I've known him from when I was training in Chicago. So
yeah,
when he had a different.
It'd be very.
It's almost like a booty man.
An Ultimate Breakfast. Or
he was creator wrestler.
Yeah. Oh, he was creator wrestler.
Yeah. He was a creator wrestler.
Yeah.
Every season he would have like a new, or every couple seasons he would have a new persona, and then he just kind of settled in the Dasher Hatfield for a while, and now he's a very good professional wrestler.
Is there anyone that when you trained at Chikara, was still there before it, like collapsed, that were like a still fixture that like still wrestle with the same character gimmick?
The only person, but then he was he was a trainer and then he wasn't, would be Hollow Wicked probably.
Okay.
And Quack.
Yeah.
Hollow Wicked, I think, is eventually coming to camp.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He's very good. He could go places, but he just doesn't want to. He's like, I just want to wrestle on the weekend. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he has a very good job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was it him or Frightmare? Frightmare was the host of
Frightmare's the smaller one.
Yeah.
It was Hollow Wicked.
It was Hollow Wicked, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did the
And then Ultra Santa's Black for Christmas Trios. You can't see the way to set up, but just to my right here, I have a Ultramanus poster on my wall.
Nice. I still have a shirt, and it says, "Let's all enjoy professional wrestling."
I had that shirt too. There's a picture of me and my buddy Jack, and I'm wearing that shirt, and we took a picture with Demolition.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And it was after the Demolition did this stuff with Chikara.
Oh, okay. I believe they wrestled him in that gauntlet match. It was Ultramanus and Crossbones, I think. Maybe. Because I remember...
I think they also wrestled in the King of Trios where it was Demolition and One Man Gang, and somebody had the Akeem hat.
And he put it on. And someone was playing the music and remembers that exactly.
I wonder who that could have been playing the music.
I don't know. They had the music keyed up, though.
Yep.
And then the main event here, one of the rising stars of Camp Leapfrog, Still Life with Apricots and Pears against Effie, the indie superstar Effie, making his Camp Leapfrog debut.
That one should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How did the we'll get behind the scenes here? How did the Effie thing come about?
I think it just kind of was a natural fit for Valentine's Day. I think it was like a no-brainer. Like if we wanted to bring somebody in, it was going to be Effie for this. And then the other things that fell into place were like Love Doug and Basic Becca. It was like, okay, well, that fits the theme. It was just very thematic. But I think, and Andrew, you totally correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure Effie is going to be a part of Camp Leapfrog in the future too.
Yeah, I think so. Because he was actually, but like behind the scenes, he was also doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes with us, as well as
he was a guest,
being So he was helping along those lines. So I think that's going to be a little bit more. We're going to have a couple more of those sort of like guests that we bring in occasionally come through and do some of those things as well, just to kind of get fresh eyes and
get new eyes on the product.
Yeah. I will say this, pulling
Go
back the curtain a little bit, and just because I have so many conversations with you guys, I think what makes Camp Leapfrog for me more exciting, and I want to convey this to the audience so they can definitely get a feel for this as well, is just the like, you're watching it and you're like, man, this looks just like pure fun. Like, not only is it just a wrestling show, but these like the camaraderie that has been built because of this Camp Leapfrog between the talent and how they generally all enjoy being around each other and just having fun doing the project. It definitely shines through when it comes on the camera, and you guys can attest that has been the case every single Camp Leapfrog, where everyone just the environment there is fantastic.
Well, that's the case for us too. I mean, like I lost count of how many times that I have to bring Kilowatt back into his job because he just like totally goes into fan mode and is just sitting there watching it like a little fan. And when like, you know, he's supposed to do something like, I don't know, ring a bell or anything like that, I have to be like, yo, come on, dude. Like he's like, oh, sorry. Like it just like
I'm not even mad at you. I do the same thing.
Even when we're all like in there doing the work and stuff, you know, it just, like you said, it comes through having fun. And then everybody, wrestlers, everybody that's around just kind of gets trapped in that. We get brought back into the fan zone, which is why we all, you know, came into this in the first place. So it's just really, really, really fun. But yeah, I mean, I lost count of the number of times I had to be like, yo, ring the bell. Like,
or that I was so like engrossed in it that I didn't get to. I was like, oh, was that 3? Ring the bell. And they're like,
oh my God,
what are you doing?
Yeah. We took those duties away from him now.
Yeah, so that seems like the smart move.
To ring the bell anymore.
I'm a spectator.
Yeah, just the locker room environment just looks like a blast. Like I said, you have the Chikara guys, you have guys all over the Northeast area. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them, like the Killians and the Trajans and the Tommy Vexes, like people that we know from Outbreak, and it's a lot of fun. Like it just looks like a blast. I get excited every time you guys are about to release a new one, or I hear like, oh, we're working on this, and it's like, oh, I can't wait for that to be translated and finally see it. It's exciting.
Yeah, and you know, maybe in the future, Anthony, I'm not going to say what the premise is. Andrew, you know, the idea I pitched for a future Leapfrog was actually the inception of Anthony here the other night.
yeah, that. The behind the scenes stuff, it was just like we were just pitching it and having fun with it, and we were literally crying, laughing on the phone with each other, just coming up with all the different ideas for it, and it was a lot of fun. And then Brian pitched one in our group chat that's kind of topical.
I didn't pitch that. I just say it because I think we'll have to do it.
Yeah,
whether there's wrestling involved or not, it's got to be at least like a 30-minute skit.
Yeah, well, right now the big thing is WandaVision, but I mean, Brian, you got to have Rondavision. The lunch lady has to make the return, and she has to control Camp Leapfrog.
Ronda
you know,
wants Wanda. So.
Put something in the food. Everybody starts going a little loopy, and people have powers all of a sudden.
Maybe she cooks the dead crawfish. You know, the dead crawdaddy, and
he's dead. He ain't coming back.
Well, I mean, why let it go to waste, you know?
Well, that's true. And then they could eat him and get the powers of crawfish.
Or you could always just recast him, you know?
She could bring him back like she brought Vision back.
Great. It might be a little bit different.
This is literally how shows get pitched. We just say stupid shit. We're like,
here's Warhorse. Wait, that's not Warhorse. Yes, it is.
Listen,
it's Warhorse.
No, we said we bring back Crawdaddy, but we put the mask on Alex because it's clearly not the same. They're like, no, that's definitely.
I always wanted to do that, like for a goofy angle.
He's got to wrestle CC Boost if he does that. That'd be great.
like there's a mask guy and he goes under the ring, and then like a guy, like let's say the guy's white, and then the guy comes out with his mask, but it's totally a black guy, and it's like that's the same guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I love that. So
like when they randomly had Coco Beware as the blue blazer. That was
yeah, like wait a minute.
It would work in Rondavision. Everything's possible in that universe. Can't believe that red suit. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got to get her that old school red Halloween costume. That's enough for the price of admission right there.
Promo code Leapfrog. That's how you get that action.
Yeah. Promo code Leapfrog, 5 days free. She's like, I pushed one person to a pool. Now they're making a whole show about me.
Hey, she asked for it, you know.
Yeah.
She really did.
All right. So what else can we look forward to with this Love Frog? I know you said after the show you're going to have an announcement.
Yeah, so the announcement for the next Leapfrog Live will be at the end of the show.
Cool.
Is there any other fun little tidbits about the show that like isn't so much a spoiler, but is fun?
The dating game sounds very fun.
Yeah,
like we don't know who the bachelors are going to be.
Right.
Yeah, I would say
I have a suspicion. I think I know one of them.
good. But I would say there's definitely a couple things that were not advertised that'll be nice little surprises that have been thrown in, especially stuff that like the two of us have been working on tirelessly over the past several weeks.
One of them is really cool, which I don't want to spoil it, but a really dedicated fan did something really cool for Camp Leapfrog that will be shown in the show, which is exciting. Yeah. And that's going to open it, right? That's like
it kicks off. Yeah, I think it kicks off the whole thing.
You gotta do that ECW booking where you only have like 2 matches scheduled. Every other match just happens when somebody runs down, somebody else runs down. Oh, we're gonna have a match.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff. Love Frog's gonna be a blast. I'm excited.
Not to give anything away. Is there any like one match you think might take people by surprise?
So for me, other than the main event, and the runway match, the main event are both fantastic. But what the speed, not the speed dating,
Forward tag?
The match game or whatever it is.
The dating game one.
The dating game, whatever that dissolves into, I think is going to be something that will absolutely be talked about.
Yeah.
At least as a spectator.
What has been the I don't want to say backlash in a negative way, but what has been the feedback since Fight Forever when it comes to Camp Leapfrog and exposure and just people's feedback of what Camp Leapfrog provided for that show? I mean, I'm being biased, but it seems like it stole the show a little bit. Like I think it definitely showed off a style of match. I think the 3 things that people were talking about when it came to Fight Forever the 4 things was the match that you talked about with where Oreo Speedwagon almost died. The return of Leo's character, Blackheart. Okay. The Iron Man match with Deppen that ended up going 2 hours. And he's doing the first ever intergender Iron Man match coming up. I think that's today. I think that's tonight as well.
It's today.
Today.
It might have already happened.
Oh, it already happened?
It might have. I think it was during the day.
Yeah, that was on Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I'm not sure where to watch that, though. It might be Fight TV as well. If somebody knows in the chat, definitely put that in there. But there was another match, a Valentine's Day match, where Tony Deppen wrestled another Iron Man match. Yeah. And it may be the first intergender Iron Man match, which is pretty exciting.
I think, but I don't know for sure.
We'll just say it is because we like Tony and it happened and we know it.
Technically, it should be an inter-person match. Iron person, I mean.
Iron person match, But I mean, it's the first time that, it's a guy versus a girl in an Iron Man match. I never really I don't know how to fucking say it.
It's in a match that in a certain amount of time you have to get the most pinfalls to win.
That distinction is interesting because I remember when they did the one in NXT, it was a half hour with Sasha Banks and Bayley. They still called it an Iron Man match.
Yeah, they did.
And I think it was Lita that pushed for it to be called that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
It kind of just keeps it.
But just breaking. I personally.
Better.
Yeah, I will say one thing that Leapfrog does well as a lot of different promotions. I still think one of the best matches I've seen where it was intergender, where it wasn't so much sold on the fact that it's a guy versus a girl, where that whole illusion kind of went down, and it just was a match for what it was. It was pro wrestling. It didn't matter that it was a guy versus a girl, and it was still one of my personal favorites. Was Adina Steele versus Kit Raff at the GCW one more time. GSW one more time. Sorry, GSW one more time. It was one of my favorite matches. I thought it was really good. I thought I thought Adina really showed herself as that she's evolving as a talent, and it really put me onto Kit Raff, which I think is insanely talented. Yeah, I think he's a good time, and it was a great match. And at one point in the match, I never thought, oh, it's a guy wrestling a girl. It was just pro wrestling. Yeah, which was really, really good.
Sorry, we're trying to find where you can find that Iron Man match, Iron individual match.
Yeah, you found it?
Iron individual. That's like
it did.
You need more banter time to look it up?
It
like
did happen
international
earlier
option.
today. I'm just trying to figure out where you can find it. It would
All right.
probably
Well,
be better. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry.
yeah.
Talk about it.
Now, when it comes to Leapfrog, is there anything else you guys want to add, just in general, about it when it comes to the Fight Forever or
Merchandise.
anything like that?
Well, as far as High Tension goes, there's actually going to be a podcast network announcement on Monday.
Ooh,
So
is this what we talked about with the logo?
I did share that with you. Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for that an additional podcast joining your network. It's going to be really exciting, and it's going to be a fun listen. I'm pumped for it.
Yep, and we're also on top of that. We're going to be developing a Camp Leapfrog podcast and some other fun, interesting, interactive things that we're probably going to use this platform, the StreamYard platform, to produce some other original content pertaining to Camp Leapfrog.
Cool. Yeah, I love this StreamYard, and I did figure out how to share the audio when you're doing screen stream. So that's a game changer.
Perfect.
Yeah, we made a Not Cool in High School episode last night at 4 a.m.
Oh my
and it was just us two talking we did the audio for only like an hour and a half, but then we cut the audio and did like another hour and a half of just talking to people and interacting, which is shocking because people are interacting with us at 3 a.m.
I'd say
5 in the morning.
My God.
But we were
Get
doing
up
like
for
screen shares, but like we couldn't get the audio to come through, and I did some research and
okay.
figured it out. So like when we talk about a video game,
Uh-huh.
we can play the trailer. On
That's cool.
I don't know if we'll get flagged or not.
I don't think you get flagged for a trailer because that's the reason to distribute.
We'll find out
entertainment.
eventually in the future.
Yeah.
But
we can't take like a video from a movie.
Yeah.
Like, let's watch this 2-minute clip of this movie.
yeah. So I'm excited for the future, and I definitely want more people to realize that Camp Leapfrog is definitely another thing coming soon. It's going to be the high tension wrestling community, which is going to be a really good time as well. I'm really pumped for what high tension brings. I know with the pandemic kind of put a halt to everything, but the way you guys started making connections, interactions, and hooking up with Chris and creating this Camp Leapfrog and doing everything involved with it has been fantastic. And in a short amount of time, you guys have accomplished really, really cool things. And I'm very proud of you guys. And I'm proud to say, like, I'm proud of my friends for doing cool things. Just a couple months ago, we were sitting in a hallway in a wrestling company filming promo videos, and now you guys are running your own company. It's super exciting, and like just genuinely as friends, I'm very proud of you guys. I love you guys to death, and I can't wait to see what keeps coming.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thanks,
And
man.
if you ever need anything on our end, you guys, we're always here.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So did you find it, Brian?
I did. It's on YouTube. I should have looked there first.
It is on YouTube.
It's on Beyond Wrestling's YouTube channel.
Okay. So
And
it's free on Beyond Wrestling YouTube channel.
and I believe it may the whole event may be on IWTV because in the description they have a code for Independent Wrestling TV. Don't use their code. Use code Leapfrog.
Yeah.
Code Leapfrog.
What are their
They
code
damn
is? Take it, throw it away.
Subscribers are-
You can still watch it if you use code Leapfrog, but just
Yeah.
make sure you use code Leapfrog and then
Yeah.
go ahead and watch that.
And you can actually get your own Camp Leapfrog T-shirt from the Independent Wrestling TV's merch page.
Oh, okay, cool.
I ordered one. I ordered that, and I ordered. The only problem is I don't know who to contact when it comes to like
Right.
something wrong. But I ordered the T-shirt and
Yeah.
I ordered a pin of their title,
Uh-huh.
and I never ever got the pin
Oh, that sucks.
because the mail's been really shitty.
Yeah.
But the problem is I can't search my order number to find out what it was.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's in
That's
one of
just
those.
like, hey, I didn't get that PlayStation you sent.
Yeah. So it's one. I may just
Both
order,
of 'em.
I may just order another one.
Oh man, their belt looks really nice though.
Yeah,
That's very nice.
the Warhorse is the champion.
Still
Oh,
the champion. Wow.
Tony, you happen to be sitting across the table from the guy who runs IWTV, so you should just talk to him about it.
What's that?
What? It's not me.
Don't people get you and him confused though?
Oh yes. So me and Vin Gerard at the time had a match, and they took the pictures, and the girl tagged us as the wrong person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the guy who runs, yeah.
And then we had another match, and it's the same thing. I'm like, okay, well, at least I know which
Yeah,
ones are mine.
So you own Independent
Yeah,
Wrestling TV,
yeah, I've been
clearly
running.
by her
I'm
tagging.
down low.
You heard it here first. Andy Header is the brains behind Tornado Tag as well as Independent Wrestling TV. Use code Leapfrog.
Put on the Equinox Max. So,
And if he has a problem with it, say you wrestle him again.
yeah.
What's the split? What are you guys at? Is it who's up in the?
Actually, I think then we had, because at the time he was tagging with Stigma, the former Strange Storm, and we had a tag match too. I don't know who was with me. And I think I'm actually up on him.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
There you go.
So
So Andy's the rightful owner.
he hasn't had a match in fucking 6 years, 7 years.
And then High Tension, you guys are planning on doing some stuff in the future, maybe. And I know you made a post about, you're still looking to do the blue and gold appearance and some tag team rivalries and stuff at High Tension. So hopefully we get some cool stuff soon with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
The Camp Leapfrog became like the successful thing that we're doing, but that doesn't mean that we're going to give up on the hopes and dreams of the High Tension branding itself. So, we're going to try to get creative and do some cool stuff. I think one of the ideas we have, I'm not going to share it with you, but I believe it's something that may not have ever been done. So
Cool. Now, here's the thing. When the pandemic is all over and done, are you going to run both?
Yes.
Both Leapfrog and High Tension. Cool.
Yeah.
And you made, by the way, a 3-sided ring. It's going to be
a
3-sided.
3-sided.
And I think one thing you may see at Leapfrog as well as High Tension. I know definitely High Tension is what's the big pop right now in wrestling is the fact that the door is
Forbidden
open.
doors.
The forbidden door is open. That's definitely something that High Tension wants to do as well. I can speak on what I'm saying.
The door in indie wrestling is kind of always open.
But I mean,
more so than.
But I mean, like when a door is open, it's because the one talent from one company comes to the other.
Yes.
They want to carry over storylines and factions.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Usually that doesn't work. Like the guy will come, but not necessarily the story.
And I think that's a great thing that I think is going to be exciting for High Tension. Because people,
our willingness to work with other people, not like obviously the Leapfrog universe is tied to the High Tension universe. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. We can pretend Leapfrog's in another dimension, whatever. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's Earth 1 and 2.
Yeah,
right. And that's how I like to look at it. I'm not sure if it's going to pan out that way, but like we're also since day one, since the inception of the idea of High Tension, it's always been this idea to collaborate and maybe team with other companies and work well with others. So I think that's going to be something you're going to see, especially in the PA area, hopefully one day.
It's super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big rave. Is like when a guy comes over and he's not just repackaged as a new character. He's coming as New Japan's champion,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be cool to be like, well, here comes such company's champion to High Tension, and he's challenging the High Tension champion. And not only are you putting the company over, but you're putting that person's hard work in that company over. So he's not just coming in. For an example, you go to PPW, and at one time you were considered like just like a stepping stone. Where everyone kind of you jobbed out to everybody. You were part of a bad guy. Then you go to Outbreak and you're contending for the world championship.
Mm-hmm.
Our Trajan's just like a pawn in another company, but he's the champion over in another company.
Yeah,
and you kind of blur the lines where a guy's like, well, he's the champion. He kind of, and I think I'm guilty of that too. I kind of
why is he jobbing out at PPW when he's a champion at Outbreak? Like it doesn't make sense. And I think one thing that we're doing successfully at Leapfrog, and that is our goal at High Tension, is to make sure that everybody matters and everybody has value. Like, I don't care
if they do. Everybody does. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes places don't treat everybody that way.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm kind of guilty of it as well. And this is not a knock to any company because everyone has their own storylines they want to do, and you can't all have the same storylines. That doesn't make sense. But I kind of am I'm kind of the same thing with Impact right now. Where I love Rich Swan's a very talented person. I just don't see him as the world champion.
No.
But he's also super talented. But it's just like, to me, it's like so that happens a lot where you go to a PPW show for a couple of weeks and then you go to Outbreak and you're like, oh, the guy who just lost to Gilberg's their world champion.
Yeah.
And it kind of like not diminishes their company, but it's confusing to a fan sometimes, but especially to a kid who goes to a show. So and it happens.
Especially if you're good in one place and bad the other.
So I think High Tension, what they can do by bringing those companies together is not only you bringing over that character, but you're bringing over what that person has created for their character. Because at the end of the day, you want to put over your promotion, but you also want to put over the guys who work your promotion. Because if that guy goes on and does better things, it does great for your company.
Yeah, like CZW is still living off that. Moxley worked here, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, hey, we had this talent who came through our doors, and now he's on NXT this week wrestling for the championship.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I think that's a cool way to looking at it. Like, and that's kind of what our podcast does. Like, we review beers, we review wrestling, but it's not so much if we blow up, it's also to put over the wrestler as well.
Yeah.
And just to jump back to something Alex said a little bit ago, when I actually watched the Cybernetical live, and I was in a group chat with a bunch of people who are like the hardest of hardcore wrestling fans. They watch everything, and they like one of the most over people that match for them was Abs, and Abs is not somebody that wins every match. He has the participation trophy.
He has yet to win. He
But
has yet to win a match.
somebody that he's somebody that still jumps out. He's still somebody that jumps out and that as one of the more fleshed out characters in Camp Leapfrog.
I just think like this is a GCW presentation, and a gimmick like Abs is over with the crowd. Like people are ready to enjoy wrestling for what it is. It's a theatrical presentation.
Yeah,
Man, all the
you want to
80s
get
had all the over the top characters.
yeah, you want to get behind a character. Not every character has to be a fucking bodybuilder.
Not everyone
You know
has
what
to be Randy Orton.
Hey, Abs, have you seen his abs?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Sorry. I mean, Abs is a bodybuilder. I'm sorry. I was thinking more of a guy like myself.
Where does he get his name from?
Yeah.
You know, but Dusty Rhodes was world champion. Dusty Rhodes
Oh my gosh!
didn't look like Lex Luger. You
Give him a
know?
microphone. He'll
That's what
still
I
yeah.
like about the '80s. Yeah,
Yeah.
As long as you can
The
talk.
Everyman represented.
And I like how when you use all the characters and make them important. A lot of people shit on Russo, but that was one of his main things in WWE was that everyone has a storyline.
Yeah.
Whereas rather than, oh, what's he coming? He comes out this week and loses, and then next week he's wrestling another guy, and then he's tagging, and it's like, who cares?
Yeah,
Mhm.
ideally everybody
AEW does that a lot.
That's where that problem is. Ideally, everybody should have a good storyline. Like everybody has a storyline.
Yeah.
Your storyline is Amway salesman.
Yeah, you're gonna be but you're gonna be kind of having sex with your sister.
Yeah. Ooh, so right now, if you're watching, you have 37 minutes to fill out your pro wrestling scorecard. So if you go to digital.pro-wrestling scorecards, you can fill out your thing. So let's quick go through this. We have the Grizzled Young Veterans for the NXT. This is for NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, which is tonight, the same time as Camp Leapfrog. They're both on networks. You can watch one. Just watch both. But you know what I mean? Or split your head in half and watch both of the same.
Or if you have two TVs, if you're a fancy person.
Yeah, if you're really cool.
Fancy pants. Put one on
Put one on the laptop, one on the TV.
There you go.
There you go. So
you can pretend that they're interacting with each other.
yes.
Hey,
so
look,
we have
McKinney just hit Dakota Kai with a fireball.
So we have Grizzled Young Veterans versus MSK, which is the new upcoming team from Impact. What were they?
2/3 of the Rascals.
The Rascals.
If you guys are not familiar with the product, you can just make blind guesses, but we'll kind of just run through this really quick. Who do you guys have for that match?
Grizzled Young Veterans for me.
Yeah, I think it's their time. I'm gonna say pin. Who makes the fall? I'm just gonna, I'm actually.
Yeah, I just randomly pick names. Randomly pick names.
I would just pick names because not that familiar.
I wasn't even sure which ones were on which team, to be honest with
yeah.
you. Like,
then you have
Nash Carter on.
Yeah, then I'm actually not gonna. I'm gonna skip this pay per view.
One of the ones is Wes Lee.
Yeah, which is like.
Yeah. Dusty Women's Classic Women's. Moon and Blackheart versus Kaya and Gonzalez. I'm hoping Kai and Moon and Blackheart win this one.
That's my pick too.
I would lean towards them, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dakota Kai and.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way.
They're pushing Raquel pretty huge, so I wouldn't be surprised.
My thing. Dakota Kai's like pose that she has to do 14 times when she does it in the ramp, and then she comes down and does it in the ring.
Wow, it's like anyone's.
It's kind of corny to me. I'm sorry. I think she's a very talented wrestler, but her pose just makes no sense to me. Kushida versus Johnny Gargano.
Oh, I can't wait for this one.
That should be pretty good.
That's gonna
a
be
match that Jim Cornette definitely isn't gonna like.
Yeah.
Two small guys
and one guy.
I hope Kushida wins, but I don't know. They've
been
flipping that belt too much.
How many finishers is it going to take for Kushida to put Johnny Gargano out? Because he kicks out of like 348 per match.
Yeah.
Well, Kushida's is a submission, so they can do like rope break spots and.
Yeah, I think Kushida wins. I think it's time for Kushida to finally get his push in the company. I don't think Gargano needs a belt to be over in NXT.
I think now that they've kind of gotten rid of that Gargano curse thing and he's actually defended a title, I think he keeps the North American title for a little bit.
Really?
I don't think he keeps it, but I think he keeps it for a little bit.
Yeah, interesting. That's a good take. Now we have the NXT Women's Championship. Listen. I'm not saying this out of disrespect. I'm saying this because this is just my opinion. You have Io Shirai versus Toni Storm, and Mercedes Martinez is in there to take the fall.
I'm gonna say Toni Storm wins.
Yeah, I think we get a new champion here.
Yeah.
I think we have
Io's had it for a while, and it's kind of
almost a year.
Not good, but it's kind of like flattened out a
Yeah.
little bit.
I personally would love Mercedes Martinez to be the champion. I'm a big fan of hers. PPW really put me on to her when she wrestled Christina Marie twice. I thought they were great fucking matches. One of my highlight matches when it comes to PPW, I thought they were really excellent. Mercedes Martinez, very, very personable. You can have a conversation with her. Even when she was signing autographs, you could talk to her over the railing and have a really good conversation with her. I'm a big Mercedes Martinez fan. I would love to her to be champion, but I think they inserted her into this to take the fall.
Yeah, probably. If you want to kind of see an older Mercedes Martinez match, it's very, very good. And I think you can find it on YouTube. Her and Sarah Del Rey from the very first Shimmer show back in like 2006, 2005, something like that. Excellent, excellent match. It was the main event of the very first Shimmer show, which was like the first big indie all-women's promotion.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things they did on the show was in the pre-show dark match battle royal, it was all men, and they all just wore jeans.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
I have one in one of my pro wrestling crates. There was a all women's crate where it was women's DVD, and I believe Mercedes Martinez, and was it Tessa Blanchard?
Oh, their Iron Man match.
Yeah.
Shotzi wrestles in there too. That was pretty good. I watched that.
And then we have the NXT Championship. You have Finn Balor versus Pete Dunne. Another exciting match.
I think that would be probably the best match.
I think Finn Balor retains.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Anything else? That or Kushida and Gargano would be the best match, I think.
Oh, that's true.
I think it's overall a really good card.
I'm filling it out right now. It's pretty good.
NXT takeovers are rarely bad. They're very good to excellent.
Interest in both tag matches is kind of a little bit more in the women's than the men's.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, but I mean,
I think they need to rethink the Dusty Classic thing. I don't think it works.
Yeah.
I don't think
would drop it, especially since you don't have Dusty or Cody, and it's like we're just going on name.
How long do you think Finn Balor and Pete Dunne go for?
About a
20
half
minutes.
hour.
Yeah. Well, maybe, yeah. Over 20 minutes.
Yeah, I say 32.
Does somebody get hurt and have to go to the hospital?
Yeah.
It's happening a lot of the Finn matches. He's doing the strong style.
I'll tell you what, it feels like NXT is just kind of like, I know we're risking talent getting hurt, but just go out there and put on fights because they've been really fucking good.
Yeah.
Like they literally he's already a star, but it really put Kyle O'Reilly on the map.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And they should be different. That's why I'm like zoning out of NXT recently because it's like Raw Junior. I don't want that. Just be totally different.
Yeah.
You have 3 shows. Why do they have to be the same?
Mm-hmm. All right. Do you guys have any takes when it comes to NXT show? I know you guys are busy guys. It's hard to follow every product.
I think the only thing would be for the men's Dusty Classic. I do think MSK. It's going to
really,
yeah, I do because I think they're bring him in. I think they're just going to bring him in that hot. You know,
I'm not arguing with it.
They threw him right in there.
Yeah, I could see that. Your tag champs are heels that could be an instant challenger. I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Who are the tag champs right now? I'd have no idea.
Tony Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Oh my god! Oh god! Ugh.
I will say this:
good wrestlers, bland presentation, bland characters.
Yes, I will say this. I think since moving to the USA Network,
it's not what it was.
It's not what it was, and
you kind of sometimes get it.
And I don't feel like you're champion. They haven't shown anything that makes your championships feel like they're championships.
Not like
I love Finn Balor.
Great.
Love Finn Balor. Love Io Shirai. The matches they put on are excellent, but the build up to get to those matches have been very bland.
It's nothing like remember Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream's feud?
Yeah.
Say my name.
Yeah.
You know that.
Or even when Ricochet and Dream were going at it, and Ricochet did the fucking back handspring out of the ring, like I feel like the build up to those were so good. Now NXT is going to go ahead and blow the doors off the place, but it's just
the matches are always good. I mean, sometimes there's a stinker here and there.
But, I thought Bobby Roode and Roddy had a great feud too. Just Bobby Roode had such a great character there, and then he goes up the main roster and it's nothing. Where he's talking about how Roddy has I think he called his wife moderately hot or something like that. Backhanded compliment ever.
Serviceable.
Well, real quick, while we have some viewers here, the chat is open. You can type in the chat, talk to us, whatever you feel of pro wrestling. Remember, if you guys are watching, you can check out Camp Leapfrog for free tonight with offer code Leapfrog and watch Love Frog and go and watch all really cool content.
Watch
free.
All the episodes. I was going to say issues.
Yeah. And you have 5 free days to binge watch independent wrestling TV. I think it's $10 a month. It's definitely worth it.
I think it's over 200 different companies on there. Like that.
There's
tons. I'm on there. You search my name.
You can watch you win the Outbreak World Championship.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
GSW, just True Wrestling.
You can watch CZW when it was good.
Yeah, wow, how about that?
Yeah.
You can
A lot
watch
of
the
real-
Super 8, which was won by a Can't Believe Frog member last year.
That's right.
Who-
And I Can't Believe Frog member is in it this year.
Yeah.
Very good. A very good professional wrestler won the Super 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he won the Super 8 last year.
And no appearance of your favorite Can't Believe Frog member this show.
Oh, Mikowski?
Yeah.
Matt Mikowski?
Yeah, but he'll be in the Super 8. He'll be in the Super
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
I think so far, like everyone has their favorite
Mhm.
when it comes to Can't Believe Frog. Like I have a few, but I think I've never seen Brian so high an independent guy as much as he is for Matt.
Okay.
And it's exciting.
His style is it's right up my alley as far as the grappling, and I thought that trios team that they had with him and Huckabee, and now the third person escapes me. Who was
Brian,
on that team?
Brian, I just want to talk about it. You know what I think you should buy, Brian?
What's that?
I think you should buy Devontae's new T-shirt.
Nah, I'm good. Nah.
That's not a knock to Devontae's. That's just because it's a Washington football T-shirt
The
spin-off.
Washington wrestling T-shirt.
Yeah, Washington wrestling T-shirt.
I did love the one picture he had up there because I was running through Twitter just doing the prep for the Can't Believe Frog stuff, and he has a picture, and he said his daughter made him do it because he was mean to her, of him wearing, I believe it's an Abby
Jane shirt. Yeah.
Abby Jane shirt like this, and he's wearing like this just pink Abby Jane shirt, just looking miserable. And I'll give him credit. The shoes match the shirt, and it's amazing.
Yeah, he's been a standout for me, and thanks to
he's
Can't
great.
Believe Frog. I mean, Johnny Moran really talked him up during our interview that he had on the show, and then obviously Johnny sold me on the fact that he's also a Washington fan, and then I seen him at Can't Believe Frog. And I'm like, this guy has a great look. I'm a huge fan, but yeah, I think you look great in that shirt.
Mikowski's Weapon X.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Also, the nickname of a certain Philadelphia Eagles free safety.
Weapon X, yeah. I remember going to an independent show, PPW, and South Philly's Finest trying to sell me a T-shirt. I was going to buy one anyway, but they tried to sell me the one with the Eagles logo. I was like, there's no chance in hell. There's not a chance in hell I'm buying that T-shirt. Just can't do it. I can't do it. It's against everything I believe.
What if it was the band, the Eagles? The South Philly
It's
Finest, but it's the Eagles like album cover, whether they're hit albums. I have no idea.
knowing that it says Philly,
Hotel Philadelphia.
knowing that it says Philly in the name, and they somehow incorporated the Eagles, it's still a tough sell. It's still a really tough, even though it doesn't even look like the football team. It's a tough sell.
What if it was a picture of a local Eagles club?
Does it say Philly in the name?
Well, it's a South Philly's Finest.
Yeah, Philly and Eagles are too close together. They're guilty by association.
It's just a bunch of old guys drinking beer.
It's very tempting, but I think they're guilty by association. All right. So let's get into our topic of the night, love in professional wrestling. Before we get into it,
Ain't got no room in professional wrestling for no love.
I want to pitch something to you guys.
Just brother love.
Who, if we had a final like a final four bracket, we'll process elimination here real quick. Who makes the final four? But I want you to pick.
Okay.
Throw a couple names out there, and we'll say who the final four is, and we're going to determine the Valentine's Day winner today on this podcast. Independent wrestling couples.
Oh, independent.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what are we naming four of? I don't know if I can name four independent couples that are known.
Well, we're going to make them known.
I don't want to spill those beans.
We're going to make.
We're not dirty laundry.
So I'll throw a few out. Just going from the PPW side.
Me and Alexa Bliss.
Clearly, no, we have Johnny Moran and Christina Marie, two titans in their field. Two champions at PPW, doing very well in the other companies.
Mm-hmm.
We have
that TV title on Moran right now is the pandemic.
Yeah. That son of a bitch.
That son of a bitch, and he's coming for it, Moran. You heard it here first. Then we have Orlando, Mike Orlando, and Ali.
Okay, yeah. Other X.
We have Kakoa and Pandora. Sammy Pandora.
There you go. I forgot about that one.
We have Chris Banks and Adina Steele.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should make that one
Yeah, that's
a sidebar.
I love when Tony
know.
brought this whole topic up. Everybody's got like visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm very
That's
sorry.
what I was just gonna say. Like my TV title match in PPW. If it's still, I think I just get the shot. I just get the shot.
You just get the shot?
Yep.
Just eliminate
the
competitor?
Mhm.
All right, you heard it here first.
How about Facade and Danny Mo?
Facade and Danny Mo.
They wrestled each other during Fight Forever.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they wrestled.
Do you guys have any other ones that you know of? independent wise?
I did have one, but they recently broke up.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't want to.
Don't say that one.
Nope.
Isn't Tommy Vex dating? I mean, she's a valet.
Yeah, I forget her.
I don't know her
working name.
Yeah, her working name.
She was with like the weird.
I knew the guy
professor
she was
guy.
with before Tommy Vex because they were she was his valet. That's not a shot. It just I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, if you've seen the show,
Sorry, Tommy. And I'm sorry. Yeah, I was gonna let that one go. This might have been a terrible segment.
See?
All right, so the ones unless anyone has,
I'm sure there's a great couple in California somewhere.
Yeah. Does anyone have the winner here?
The evil architect Bill Ding and his girlfriend Sally Hightower.
And I come throw curveballs at you guys and try to hit them out of the park.
Let me just go on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Who's banging who?
I'm gonna have to go with Johnny Moran and Christina out of those.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense. Like you said, they are kind of the powerhouse of professional wrestling in a sense.
You know what? I think that's our winner. We'll just go with it. And just
I was going to ask, personally, who is your pro wrestling Valentine?
Who's my pro wrestling Valentine? Are you allowed to have more than one?
Should we keep it?
Mine's Killian McMurphy. So.
Yours is Killian McMurphy?
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. He's in great shape. I was going to say, is it only independent or is it only professional?
Independent.
I better not say on that.
What's your independent? Who's your Valentine?
I want to see the person. No. Alexa Bliss. Tony Storm.
I think you have a type.
Asuka.
Oh, never mind. You don't have a type. Alex, who's your pro wrestling Valentine?
Oh, I'm totally down with Killian McMurphy.
I have two, just because I feel like it's a good year for us. I think my Valentine's going to go to Johnny Moran and Devontae, because it's not very often the Washington football team gets to the playoffs and has two postseason awards when it comes to comeback player of the year
and worst team name of the year
and defensive player rookie of the year. They're my Valentines. We're gonna bask in our glory when it comes to our professional football team.
May I remind them nobody has won that division twice in a row since 2005.
Well, that's changing next year because your team is now the new dumpster fire.
Oh, no, it'll probably be the Giants. Yeah, it's not going to be the Eagles.
Well, Brian, who's your Valentine?
Oh, Maki Ito.
There you go. That's a great pick.
Maestro.
Oof. Oh, man. It's a tough.
You could say, if you don't want to say anyone independent, like I chose not to, you could say someone on WWE.
Yeah.
Would your tag team partner from Blue and Gold be your Valentine?
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. Both of you hit the gym a lot. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Both look great.
Good.
Both look good.
I hope so. He weighed in at 208 yesterday. He can't even wrestle on 205 Live.
He's fucking huge. Have you seen? I almost said his real name.
Matt Turner. Have you seen this?
Oh, he's fucking huge. I still think High Tension or Camp Leapfrog needs to book that shoot fight between him and, the fight type, like the Bloodsport style match between him and Deshaun Pratt that they've been booking on social media with each other that they want to do.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it'd be a barn burner. It'd be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I would see one of those Parejas Incredibles matches with Matt Turner and Ophidian against Amasis and Davey Lawless.
Oh, there we go. Wow, how about that?
Whoa, Maestro, who's your Valentine?
I would say if I'm going to the pro side, so it's a curveball, Billy Kay.
Oh,
I love Billy.
I love Billy Kay.
She's much fun. Entertaining, very entertaining.
She's cute.
Yeah. She's iconic. People would say.
Yeah.
And you couldn't go wrong with Peyton Royce either.
Can't go wrong there.
Turn the thirst on for this segment here.
We are getting a little thirsty.
Britt Baker,
Kilowatt knows I got a thing for the foreigners, so.
Oh, hey.
That ain't no lie.
Dakota Kai.
I actually just got 2 new wrestling T-shirts from WWEshop.com. I got my Asuka Championship shirt.
Okay, that's cool looking. Yeah.
And I Go Here Now, my Bianca Belair shirt.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure if that was, but her lips were on it.
Yeah.
You forgot your main Valentine, Ember Moon.
Yeah. Ember Moon. Ember Moon is definitely. If my wife's in the living room listening, I'm sorry. Ember Moon is just my crush. I'm not even sorry because she gushes I have to bring a bucket and a mop every time she sees Drew McIntyre and fucking Roman Reigns. Fuck that. Ember Moon's my baby. Like I
hears the bagpipes and she faints.
She's super attractive. She's a giant nerd. Like she plays video games. Ember Moon's a total package.
Has that awesome finisher.
She has the greatest finisher in professional wrestling right now.
I don't know about that.
Who's just cooler?
I think Will Ospreay. The what does he call that?
The Oz Cutter?
Does he do it?
No, not the Os Cutter. The Stormbreaker.
She does a off the top rope flipping Stone Cold Stunner.
Yes, I mean, so did Buff Bagwell.
That's
Right?
way to ruin it.
One of the other cool,
Awesome. But I mean, yeah.
one of the other cool things about Ember Moon, she's one of those wrestlers who got engaged in the ring.
Yeah.
Oh, did she? I didn't know that.
She got engaged in
We
the
did
ring.
that during our topic. We talked about how they got engaged.
Forgot all about it.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. All right, let's get into our main topic, which is love in professional wrestling. Brian, what do we
Because
got?
I love you.
Yes.
My guest this week.
Brother Brian.
Oh, we did talk about real quick. Jack just reminded me because he posted it in the group chat. The Rock TV show.
Oh, Young Rock.
Young Rock is going to cast a young Vince McMahon, a Macho Man Randy Savage, an Andre the Giant, and a Iron Sheik.
Oh, wow.
For the
Sheiky
TV
baby.
show.
Let's just get the real chic. And they just have that beat button ready.
Get it ready.
The Macho Man looks great, except his hair isn't bad enough. You need a little bit worse hair if you're going to be Macho Man.
Yeah,
frizz it up.
Looks a little too thick.
Too nice.
Yeah, too nice. I am looking at
The
a photo.
Vince is way off. Maybe for young Vince. I don't know. I didn't see that.
He looks Hispanic.
The Vince.
Yeah.
It's Dario Cueto from Lucha Underground.
And Andre looks cool.
I did not see it.
It's a young, thin Andre.
Okay, I did not see Andre. Does he have
You have a big afro?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
nice.
guys can't see
Oh,
it.
yeah, he does.
It's in the group chat. But
So-
yeah, so if you're into the new TV show for Rock's life, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, Andre kind of looks like Giant Silva.
He does.
Yeah. Ooh, Giant Silva. Who was worse, Giant Silva or Great Khali?
Oh, Giant Silva never killed a guy.
Yeah, that's true, but he was never world champion.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, let's get into the love in pro wrestling before we get canceled.
So,
Taking Camp Play Frog with us. I'm sorry, guys.
perfect segue here. Perfect segue. When you talk about like romance angles in wrestling or even real life wrestling couples, you have to somehow either start or end or get
Number
there somehow
one.
to Randy Savage and Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like the definitive pro wrestling couple, I would say. Both shoot and working.
I did an angle with my wife, and I no longer have a wife anymore.
To the point where we have the Camp Leapfrog team here at the Halloween episode. Abs and Sam Laterna are Macho Man and Elizabeth. It was great.
Nice.
And so they were obviously Savage and Elizabeth were a real life couple. Let's be clear there. They met in Kentucky, where Randy Savage is working for ICW Wrestling, which was his father's promotion. It was an outlaw. They were going up in opposition to the Jarrett and Lawler, what became the USWA. I think at that point it was just like Continental Wrestling or something like that. And so this was like a real like they hated each other. There's this story of Savage and Bill Dundee almost getting in a shootout in a gym. It's like somewhere like Knoxville or somewhere in northern Tennessee.
Macho Man's that guy that I would never fuck with. Like I feel like any wrong, like he would just punch you out.
Just a little nuts.
Just a little too off his rocker a little bit.
Yeah, like you would say something like just a little like that you take slight offense to, and he just puts your head through a wall or something. Yeah.
I wouldn't fuck with that guy.
You have lust in your eyes, Hogan.
What did you say to me? He's like, I didn't say nothing, man. I'm fucking out of here. he had that look in his eyes like he has killed a man with his bare hands. I wouldn't fuck with the old Savage.
And so Elizabeth worked at the TV station because this was back in the days of studio wrestling, and ICW had their studio show. She was actually the host for a little bit. I think she started like working the camera, and they're like, she was studying communications, very pretty woman, so they put her in front of the camera.
It pays to be attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and which is funny because she didn't really always have a lot of charisma. Like she always seemed a little nervous, like when they would do the talking things. Like Sherry always seemed like a much more like natural, comfortable person as far as character. But yeah, Can I
pitch something with Elizabeth that I think maybe made her, and maybe this is just like a fucking male toxicity thing here, but did Elizabeth just look so pure and innocent that she also didn't think she was like, she didn't come off as someone who appeared or like had confidence, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, but like for how attractive she was, she didn't portray herself as if she was a super attractive girl. She just kind of seen herself as an everyday Joe.
Well, they did make her. They tried to make her like the girl next door, very demure, because Savage was so over the top that she was just like, okay, and like that was her character too.
Like if someone bought her a drink in a bar, she looks like someone who would be generally confused by it. Like, why are they doing that? Like, you realize you're hot?
Yeah.
She's like, I am. They're like, yes,
A little bit.
You truly are, Elizabeth. Like,
you're
you're an attractive human, and she's just like, I guess so. Like, I just feel like she's genuinely baffled by it.
And then, what did you see?
Yeah. When you talk about my wife.
I mean that was the thing, and unfortunately the real life love story is kind of not the same as what gets portrayed, because she was being locked in closets and stuff, and
allegedly his brother, allegedly.
Like that's the story. Like, yeah, you don't know for sure. No, we weren't there.
I never heard that my brother did those things, those wonderful things, those horrible things. I mean, I don't think that my brother, Randy Macho Man Savage, would do those things.
You sound very smart when you say that.
Yeah, well, it's genius.
So they eventually ICW dissolved. It didn't work out, and then so Savage does go to Memphis for a little bit because the big money program was him and Jerry Lawler. But he was such a talent that WWF was calling.
Yeah.
He comes in, and the big thing they did with him when he first came in was that he was basically the number one target of every manager. And every manager is making their sales pitch to why Randy Savage should be managed by them. And he does this big thing at TV where they have all the managers gathered around, and he's going to make his pick, almost like the dating game, but for managers. And so out through the door, here comes Elizabeth. So he brings in this brand new manager. And they did a very similar thing with Bobby Roode and Impact like 10, 15 years ago. And they brought in Peyton Banks, Reign, as his manager. But if you do this from here, like it's like you can almost tell the arc of the Savage Elizabeth story by the WrestleManias. Like at the very beginning, he's just treating Elizabeth like dirt, and he gets jealous when people are like looking at her, paying attention to her, and
she's on camera. He quick shunts her away. He brings her in to boost his ego, and then he quick shunts her away if Mean Gene starts talking to her.
Exactly, yeah. And then she's being very friendly to George Animal Steel when he's doing that like kind of simpleton, like the man-child type gimmick. And so Savage gets mad at George Steele, and that starts the feud for WrestleMania 2. At this point, he's the Intercontinental Champion. By WrestleMania 3, he loses the Intercontinental title to Ricky Steamboat. And very shortly after that, he's getting cheered. Even though he's a heel, even though he's a great heel, he's getting cheered. So they turn him babyface. And that's when the Mega Powers are born. And Elizabeth is kind of the catalyst for this, too. Great angle. Oh, we got a handshake. We got a Mega Power.
They're like holding it back.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
They're high on cocaine. Their pupils are this big.
They're looking around the ring. That's the best thing about wrestling. You got to look around the ring before you shake someone.
Yeah. Should I do it? Should I do it?
like it's just a handshake. Whoa,
it's so stupid, but it goes over every time.
It's wonderful.
But so the actual kind of union there happens on Saturday night's main event. Savage is challenging the Honky Tonk Man for the Intercontinental title, because that's
a formidable opponent.
Yeah, well, that's the reason the whole thing happened with Honky Tonk Man calling himself the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, because to this point, the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time is Randy Savage. He had, up until Honky broke it, the longest reign. He was main eventing shows. He was like main eventing the Boston Garden with Bruno Sammartino. He was like a big draw as the Intercontinental Champion.
Would you say that Savage put the coin on the championship, calling it the Working Man Championship, because he was putting the work in as much of a world champion, but making the belt seem
I think it was already like that. Maybe not like when Morocco had it or somebody like that.
But I mean, just Savage putting it on the main light.
Yeah. I think he did bump it up. I think, but as far as like one of the more underrated guys, like back then, they didn't have great workers in WWF. But one of the better ones was Tito Santana. And
Tito's run was amazing. And Tito, I'm very upset with you, Jack Tunney. That Tito Santana. Yeah, that was a good rivalry. Yeah, very underrated rivalry.
Yeah. And then the Wrestling Classic. He wrestles Tito. He wrestles Steamboat. I think he wrestles Dynamite Kid in a great match, even though it's very short. And then if you search like top Randy Savage promos, I would say 3 or 4 of them are all promos he's cutting on Tito Santana during that run. Yeah, it wasn't the cream of the crop. Was that about Tito, or it might have been?
I don't know. That's usually what comes up first.
But if you do like a top 5, I would say at least 2 of them are.
And then the one with Sherry when he's turning around.
Yeah, that he cuts. I mean, the Mega Powers in there, the Sherry, but like 2 of them are like during the Tito run.
My favorite one, and we're going to get to it here. But yeah, what I was getting there is Honky Tonk Man started calling himself the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time to start a feud with Randy Savage and turn Randy Savage babyface. So then the Hart Foundation are still heels, and they're with Jimmy Hart, so is Honky Tonk Man. And they're attacking Randy Savage on Saturday Night's main event. Elizabeth runs to the back, comes out with Hogan, and that's how the Mega Powers are born. And they're born just to set up the heel turn, really. So you have Savage winning the title at WrestleMania 4. And my favorite Randy Savage promo of all is leading up to WrestleMania 5. And it's when he's running back all the things that happened that year before, when he's talking about how Hogan had lust in his eyes. And, like,
the camera cues, like, they set that up beautifully.
Like Hogan's hand is like kind of your ass.
Yeah, they did a really good job promoting that. That was real good.
It's at SummerSlam when she takes the skirt off. She has the granny panties on under it, and she's up on Hogan or up on Savage's shoulder. And it looks like Hogan might be getting a little handsy there, but he's like, "Oh, I'm studying your brother. I'm keeping her steady." And Survivor Series, Hogan and Savage are the survivors. And what's the first thing Hogan does? He goes up and gives Liz a big hug. So you look back like.
And also in real life, they're having marital problems where they're close to divorce, and one of her solaces where she's going for comfort or to talk to people is she's going to Hogan's wife, Linda, and she's staying nights at Hogan's and his wife's place. Now, I don't judge whatever you're into as a couple, do you? But there's rumors that maybe they had an open style relationship. And I think Savage was uncomfortable that his wife was running there. So then, of course, there's some real heat where he thinks maybe you're making a move on my wife type deal. And it carried over to professional wrestling. So turned into like a little bit of a real shoot as well as what was going on in real life and during storyline.
You watched the Dark Side of the Ring episode about
Macho
Man and Liz.
Yeah.
And then WrestleMania 5 is kind of the apex of that, where Hogan beats Savage, Elizabeth's in a neutral corner, and so then she kind of goes away for a while. Sherry's with Savage now. Elizabeth, I don't think she wanted to be on the road. She didn't want to be like an everyday character. So she's kind of gone after that for the most part. And then she just comes back as a surprise at WrestleMania 6. It's Savage and Sherry. They're the king and queen now against Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire.
Where's your
phone?
Never mind.
And Elizabeth is in Dusty's corner and helps Sapphire pin Sherry. And then the moment. This is one of my favorite matches ever. Savage and Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 7. Elizabeth's in the crowd. They don't even like make a big deal of it. Just show her, like, is that Elizabeth? Because she's got short haircut. The last 2 years. Yeah, she's wearing like the shirt with the stars on it.
Yeah, that's always wearing the star shirt and her stupid little haircut.
So, just one of my favorite matches of all time. Randy's. If you want to see a one-man show in wrestling, Randy Savage and Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 7 is as good as it gets. Savage does 80% of the work in that match, and Sherry does about 15%, and it's great. Warrior stands in his hands and throws a few shoulder blows.
Yeah. Warrior's just swinging windmill punches.
And so after the match, it's a career-ending match. So it's basically loser leaves town, and Savage loses. He's done. I think the talk at this time was him and Elizabeth were talking about like having kids, so he wanted to kind of get off the.
Real quick, hold on one second.
It sounds like the fan from your computer. I think it's your fan under.
Definitely a fan. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm hearing a weird buzzing noise.
So Savage loses, and Sherry is irate. She's kicking at him while he's down. And Elizabeth's seen enough. She jumps the rail. She comes in. She never gets physically involved ever. Like they did, and unfortunately, wouldn't get away with this now. Unfortunately, they did have people, including Savage, that would get heel heat by slapping her or throwing her down or something. In fact, the night that Savage turned on the main event when it was the Mega Powers against the Twin Towers, she takes a hell of a bump when they throw Savage out and he like lands on her.
Oh yeah.
Well, once again, that's WWE's thing where they are so against, and obviously we should be as a society against men hitting women, but in the world of professional wrestling, when you kind of blur that line and make it a huge thing, like men can't hit women, but every 2 weeks you have a woman beating up on a man, it's kind of a double standard. So if you just erase that and just do it as professional wrestling, no one else in the world cares unless WWE.
Yeah.
Unless
well, this is a little different because like that in a match, it's different than when like there's one when Tully slaps Baby Doll. And it's like, ooh, don't do that today.
Yeah, so, I mean, like
she wasn't a wrestler.
So, as I was going through all these, I'm like, oh, we can get away with this today. Like, there's one we'll talk about in a little bit that's like a lesser known one that's like really like, oh, you could never do this now. Yeah. But like all the ones we're going to talk about, there's an element of, oh, you couldn't do that now. but yeah, that's kind of the peak is WrestleMania 7, and then do the wedding at SummerSlam 91.
While they're legit probably getting divorced or getting married on TV.
Yeah,
I think they're already divorced.
I think at this point was when they were starting to have like problems. I think it was around like 91, 92.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then you have Jake the Snake with the Cobra and the wedding present and the reception, and then Undertaker comes out too. And so yeah, and then Jake was another one. I think he slapped Elizabeth. And then you have the feud with Ric Flair in 92, where he's just saying Elizabeth was mine before she was yours. And that was kind of the end of it. Because she kind of went off TV after that WrestleMania, where apparently they pulled it off because one of the things they kept talking about in the lead up was on the Jumbotron that he said he had like some pictures of Elizabeth. It was also going to be like revenge porn, where she was like,
no.
They kept talking about like it was like she's wearing nothing but a staple in these pictures, and it never happened. Like I was just trying to psych them out, but apparently they did have some kind of thing where obviously she wasn't going to be naked. It was a WWF, but they were going to put like some like kind of racy picture up, but then Savage is like, oh, I don't think so.
No, yeah.
And then she did.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Vince.
Yeah, she did wind up coming back in WCW, and yeah, by that point they were definitely divorced because she was married to I think a lawyer in Florida, and she obviously winds up with Lex Luger, and it's a very sad ending.
Yeah. Well, that was depressing. Valentine's Day, that love story turned awful.
Here's a good one.
Hey, you never know. You know.
Let's go to someone with some happier.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Actually, let's talk about that one I was talking about before, where this was an angle.
Tolly and Baby Doll.
No, this one was from Alabama, from the other Continental Wrestling, the one that Eddie Gilbert was Eddie Gilbert and Paul Heyman were booking at the time, and one of their top heels was Tony Anthony, the Dirty White Boy, and he had his I don't think she was called the Dirty White Girl at that point. I forget what name she was using, but it was his real wife, and she was almost always his manager, and he was feuding with Tom Pritchard. And I think there was a thing where she screwed up. It was like missed interference, and she cost him a match against Tom Pritchard. And she comes out with Gordon Soley the next day, like the studio wrestling. Gordon Soley's in the studio, and Charlie Platt, who was the normal announcer guy there. And she has, and if you look back at it now, it's like very comically, like this makeup bruise over her eye, and she's wearing sunglasses. Like it looks like. It's the size of a softball. This it's half of her face.
It's like Andre smacked her.
She looks like Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 6.
Teal Hopper hit her with a plunger.
and she's just talking about like she keeps saying, "I'd like to talk to Tom." Like basically, he beat me, and Tom Pritchard needs to help me. And Tom Pritchard eventually, because like they sell it like it's a shoot. Like Gordon Soley takes off his microphone, goes to the back to get Tom Pritchard. Like he doesn't want to come out, but eventually he comes out. And the whole thing was a setup, and Tony Anthony comes out and just beats the hell out of Tom Pritchard. They hang him, like they throw him through the set, like the studio set behind them. And at the time, even at the time, they're like, I don't know, this might be a little too much.
Kind of like when we watched Chris Benoit versus what's his name in WCW,
Kevin Sullivan.
And moments before that match happened, Nancy told Chris that Kevin Sullivan maybe smacked her around, and they went out and had a legit fist fight. At a WCW pay-per-view.
We'll talk about
love story. Yeah,
we'll talk about this one more as far as like romance angles. We'll talk about this one a little more when we do our next show, because I know we're going to be talking a bit about Ron Simmons. But one of the first things that Nancy Benoit did was Woman. She was Fallen Angel first in Florida with Kevin Sullivan, but then her first national thing was Woman, and Woman was first a fan. Like she showed up as a fan. She was Robin Green, and she was like Rick Steiner's girlfriend. She was like this fan that kind of fell in love with Rick Steiner, but it was all a ruse, and she turned on him and then brought in Doom under masks, and they did a few with the Steiners.
Yeah.
But as far as like all those are like downers. Here there are a few with happy endings though. Like,
well, let's get to a real good one. I mean, Matt Hardy and Lita did nothing bad went wrong there, right?
It all ended well.
Kate and Katie Vick, Triple H.
It ended well. I'm sure Lita's happy. She seems to be doing all right. Matt Hardy and Edge are both married and have kids now. I mean,
I feel like we just turned into the wedding singer, where this turns into Love Stinks.
Well, most, like JR says, most pro wrestling relationships don't work out
on major TV levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of them did. The other two we're going to
Some
talk about.
do. Yes.
Okay.
Even though one is definitely like, yo, you could never do this today. And that
All
was
right.
Raven, Tommy Dreamer, and Beulah. You could never do that again now. So Raven and Tommy Dreamer, the whole story here, and it was a great feud. Like ECW, it's the most famous feud in ECW for a reason. The whole thing was that they went to summer camp together when they were kids.
They went to camp.
Yeah, there you go.
They went to Camp Leapfrog.
Yeah, they went to Camp Leapfrog when they were kids, and
They turned into Love Frog.
There, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna be Crow.
There you go.
And Beulah McGillicuddy was the girl that nobody liked. Like, she was the homely girl. Like,
I believe she was fat at the time, right? Or did she lose weight?
That's what they said. They said she was like, just like the one that like nobody liked. And
so we're starting with a wrestling promo with body shaming.
Yes, yeah. We're starting with body shaming,
Yeah. And
and
90s.
then
This was 95.
Yeah, and then eventually Raven brings her out, and now she's
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's blossomed, we'll say.
Yeah, she has blossomed. She's with Raven, and Stevie Richards always like kind of making the googly eyes at her, and they just terrorize Tommy Dreamer. Like the one of the key things in this feud is Dreamer never beat Raven until the very end when he beat Raven in a loser-lose ECW match. But they feuded for a year and a half before that, and Tommy Dreamer never beat him. And the one time he did, I think it got overturned because of Bill Alfonso. But at one point, there's this one thing where, like, Beulah's obviously not herself. Like Stevie Richards is trying to be a little touchy-feely with her, and she's like pushing him away and things like that. And it turns out, lo and behold, she's pregnant.
I'm pregnant. What?
And Raven's figured out, she's like, it's not yours, it's Tommy's. And then that's her baby face turn, and she's with Tommy Dreamer.
Well, first when she says it's not yours, he beats up Stevie Richards.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because he thinks it's Stevie's kid,
Yeah.
And then it's not his, it's Tommy's. That's what it was, yeah. Because before this, it'd be like again, you can't do this now. But one of the big things was always like Tommy Dreamer would give her a pile driver, so when he picked her up, her skirt would come down, and like again, you can't do any of these things now. But then he was Tommy Dreamer and Beulah were like a unit at that point, a team, basically a pair at that point, and they are a pair in real life to this day.
How about it?
There you go. We have one success story.
Yeah.
Well, we have another one here. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. There's no weird things that started with that one, right?
Kind of.
Triple H wasn't dating anyone else, and neither was Stephanie.
Oh, I don't know about Stephanie. Like, she might have been dating somebody outside of wrestling.
Let's talk the storyline that happened to get Stephanie and Triple H together. Now, once again, the 90s, ladies and gentlemen.
The storyline, yeah.
Listen, there was a time where Triple H hooked up with a corpse. So,
yeah.
I mean, this isn't that horrible, is it?
Date raping somebody and forcing them to marry him.
Well, yeah, but then she liked it.
She was in.
Yeah.
Well, was she in on her, or did she just come around? Like, how
I think she came around.
Okay.
So Stockholm syndrome kicked in.
It was a better time.
And it's been around. She's been in that state for 20 years.
Now, as 13-year-olds or as teenagers watching this, it was like, this is genius. And then you watch it again in 2021, you're like, eee. You're pulling your collar a little bit.
Because it actually starts with Stephanie McMahon and Test. And Test is in the union, which I think they did something, and like he just says, I don't want anything, I don't need your thanks.
Remember when Test did a huge run-in and everyone was like, who's that guy? Like, he had this huge run-in save, and everyone, it was supposed to be like this giant debut.
He's a bodyguard from Motley Crue.
And nobody cared. They're like, who's this? Like they made this run-in seem like it was so special.
I never understood the way his name was Test, too. I don't get it.
You know what we called him as kids?
What?
Testes.
Testes.
Yeah.
They're going to say tits.
Yeah. That's what we did as kids. He's Testes.
Shortly before he debuted, like maybe like a few weeks before, I saw him at the FU Center in Philly. He did a dark match. Before Sunday Night Heat, it was just Andrew Martin. And I think the only reason people went to the Sunday Night Heat tape because it was just Sunday Night Heat. And it was the night the Blue Meanie debuted in WWE too.
Nice.
WWF at the time. Basically the only reason people went to the show, when you came in, they gave you this piece of paper, and you could mail it in for tickets to WrestleMania 15 because that was the next year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's why everybody went, so you can get your WrestleMania tickets. And I think they sold out through those mail orders.
Oh,
And so Test is asking Stephanie McMahon out, and they have this little courtship. Shane's a jealous older brother, and they have the love her or leave her match at SummerSlam, where he has to beat Shane to be able to date Stephanie. And that's fine. Like that's a decent enough story. And then it gets weird. And then British Bulldog hits her throws a trash can and hits Stephanie, and she gets amnesia because Vince Russo. And so the wedding gets postponed until like November. And yeah, that's when the bartender drugged Stephanie at the bachelor party. And they do it. It's in Vegas, so they go to that little drive-up wedding chapel where you can just get married in your car.
I hate you.
And Triple H is impersonating Stephanie like, I do.
Oh, I do. Put this stupid hat on.
And then like his ending line where Stephanie's yelling, "I hate you." He's like, "And Vince, I know you're wondering. The question is not if, but how many times we consummated the marriage."
Consummate the marriage.
So nothing too bad happened. No, something bad.
Yeah. But now they're happily married. They're probably going to be taking over the company one day.
Hey, Undertaker abducted her too for a while.
Yeah.
Where to, Stephanie?
Where to, Stephanie? What are some of your favorite, Alex and the Maestro? What are some of your favorite wrestling love stories?
You're gonna think that there's something weird about me because of Killian being my Valentine, but Billy and Chuck are probably my favorite pro wrestling couple. I was so into this angle. Like, I don't know. I guess they weren't really gay, but I wanted them to be.
I think that would have been really great if they would have went through with it, and maybe I don't know if the wrestlers.
But it wouldn't have been. Like, they wouldn't have done it as like a legit. We were accepting of gay people at this time. It would have been
like, oh, look at them, they're gay.
Well, they played it off though. Like they went on like Saturday morning TV or like on talk shows, and they're like, "Hey, no, we're getting married," and that was just like, "Oh man, maybe the shit's real." Like, I don't know. That had me really confused, as it still does today. But I really love that angle. That's more like, I guess we could call it a bromance, and I think bromances in wrestling is pretty dope too. Like you have Jericho, and Kevin Owens at one point. We're pretty awesome.
Why is my name on the list?
Yeah,
list of KO.
Yeah,
still breaks my heart.
But no, anybody that ever hooked up with like Tori Wilson's dad, like Don Marie,
Teddy Long.
He died. Poor guy died.
Did he?
But banging Don Marie, that's a good way to go.
Yeah, that's right.
He did actually pass away like a year or two ago. But
he did die in real life. But it's
also from banging Don Marie, though.
Well, what about the great love story of Val Venus dating Taka Michinoshu's sister?
No, it wasn't. It was
it was
Yamaguchi-san's daughter, right?
It was Yamaguchi-san's wife, but it was also Taka's sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they had to choppy your pee-pee.
Mm-hmm. They should have, but that was like the only relationship angle they ever did with Val.
Yeah.
Like, why wasn't he trying to bang all the girls?
Well, they also did the Preacher's Wife when Dustin Rhodes was doing that, when he was just Dustin Runnels after they got rid of Goldust. And
I know a successful love story in wrestling. Goldust and Marlena, nothing happened back there.
Jeez. I liked Jamie Noble and Nydia. I like.
Oh, Nydia, that was so fun when she was blind.
So good.
Hey, girl, look what I got for you, girl.
Marlena was my first girl I seen on TV on professional wrestling. I was like,
whoa,
that's my thing. I definitely figured out what's going on down here just because of her.
You have to go in your old WCW and watch the York Foundation.
Yeah.
Ooh, Marlena was awesome. I loved Marlena.
Alexandra York.
Yeah. Everyone's like Sunny. I was like, nah, man. Marlena's where it's at.
Sable Mark Merrill.
Stable Mark Merrill. That ended well.
That ended with a power bomb.
I'll tell you what though, it did end well because Mark Merrill. Alex shared a video of him like telling his like motivational story. Holy fuck off!
If you don't cry, you're just.
And he definitely won't.
No.
And he's fucking.
I'd be like, Mark Merrill.
He'd be like, he got beat by China.
How about Tori Wilson and Billy Kidman?
Yeah, that was the overachiever of the year award of the decade.
Did it beat David Flair and Stacey Keibler?
No, I don't know. Maybe not. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty.
Well, right now we have a love angle.
David Flair has never done anything near as
Ric Flair and Lacey Evans right now.
I kind of like that. I mean, the booking's horrible right now, but I like that.
I like it too. She comes out with his robe. Let me get off this robe in a hotel.
If only it was the 90s, they could do more like innuendos, sexual innuendos.
And back to Mark Murrow and Sable. Sable's doing okay. Like her and Brock have been.
Yeah.
You know what? We're honestly skipping one of the greatest.
Becky and Seth.
You know, I was literally gonna say it, and it just came in the chat. I was gonna say Mark Henry and Mae Young.
Yeah,
they had a hand, and he came back one time.
Beautiful baby hand. I was literally gonna say that, and Paul just beat me to it. Yeah.
I was gonna say that, and Mark Henry in China. Just that whole thing to me, just all the absurdity around that, and like how Sammy.
Oh God, yo man.
That, yep. Jesus, like he just.
What about? China and Eddie Guerrero.
Sammy baby.
China and Eddie was a good storyline.
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
Latina
Mamacita.
I didn't watch a lot of Impact at the time, but I did like the whole Alley, Braxton Sutter, the hot mess, Laurel Van Ness. I thought Chelsea.
Well, what about Jeff Jarrett and his wife in TNA? That ended.
Oh boy.
All right.
Here's one, a deep cut. But when Jimmy Jacobs was after Lacey for a whole year in Ring of Honor, he wrote a song, and MySpace was hot at the time. And I believe the song was like he's her number one on MySpace, the top 8.
Did he move her to her?
Yeah, for the gimmick wise. And he used to go up and do the 10 punches in the top, but there was the top 8.
Yeah,
it was good stuff. He had a bunch of videos.
Facebook,
it was really good.
Facebook.
He was emo, and he was trying to get Lacey, and then I think he does. And then they create Age of the Fall with Seth Rollins.
And
Necro Butcher.
Did anyone's top 8 on MySpace get them in trouble with their girlfriends at the time? Because it did for me.
I didn't have a girlfriend.
I had my best friend at the time in my number 1 on my top 8, and had my girlfriend number 2, and that caused problems.
Well, couldn't you then do revolving where it would just change like all the time?
Maybe, but
at the end,
that top 8 caused a lot of problems with friendships.
And that could be top 10 and then 20.
And then your mom's like, "I know I'm not why I'm your mother. I should be in your top 8."
It's funny you brought up the Age of the Fall. All I could think of was one Ring of Honor show I went to. I think it was at the Manhattan Center, and I was by the speakers, and that was when they would have their thing was just screaming. It wasn't it was like actual music. Oh, I thought it was gonna go deaf.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah, I listened to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, and they talked about the Matt Hardy Lita Edge angle, and there was a lot behind the scenes there that I wasn't even aware of.
It's still booking wise made no sense what they did to Matt. Poor Matt.
Yeah.
And then Lita later, when they did the live sex thing, apparently she didn't want to do it, and she just thought she was going to get fired if she didn't. Yeah,
and here's my question: why the fuck would you actually get naked under the blanket?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Well, for the bra, but they could have had a bra under the blanket that the same one she was wearing to be like, whoa,
just double bra it.
Well, yeah, you could, or they could have had one already under the cover. Who would have known?
Yeah, I didn't get it because her legit, she was exposed on national TV.
Yeah,
and in front of a live audience, she was exposed.
Edge didn't mind though.
Edge didn't care. Yeah, Edge, that's a guy who never had multiple relationships in one time. All right, we're not shooting on anybody.
I can't think of good ones.
I think the moral of the story is you're rolling the dice if you get in wrestling relationships. Is that what we're...
Yeah, then like Jim Ross says, they usually don't last.
Yeah,
like I would say maybe 1 or 2 out of 10 last.
Unless if you're in like the main card, you know, sometimes people move up to that TV spotlight and it affects some things, you know, big money but that goes with anyone. You get fame, you get starstruck, you get money involved. I think on the indie scene it works out fine, you know what I mean? But
yeah, probably. But even then, probably there's sometimes all the dudes are always hitting on the girls.
There's sometimes when people get signed and they leave, you know, their significant others, which happens as well. It's a rough world out there for love in professional wrestling, especially when you're at the time in WWE at this time, you're on the road, you know.
Oh yeah,
you only get off.
You're the guy or the girl. If you're on the road like all them days, and then your person's at home.
And then sometimes they put your significant other on brand splits, and one.
Yeah, that's awful. They do that on purpose.
Yeah,
and now they have a lot of them where you know you have one person in AEW, one person in WWE or NXT.
Well, that's kind of what happened with the Edge, Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy and Lita. Is Matt Hardy went out on injury. And Matt and Lita Lita and Edge started hanging out on the road, and Matt was moved to SmackDown while they were on Raw.
Happened to Janela too.
Yeah,
you know, just because she just jumped in the chat, another pro wrestling relationship.
Oh yes,
Ryan.
Yeah, Ronda Watt here. The you know she
She's been known to take a gore here and there.
Oh my.
You know what I mean? Like,
Jesus.
You are gonna suffer mightily at Ronda.
This is the first time I've ever you're gonna get blipped.
Yeah,
Ronda Vision.
when Ronda Vision kicks in, I'm getting snapped immediately. Can we train her to do the spear?
You're just gonna see Tony flying out of a bubble during Ronda Vision.
We almost she wrote okay, guys. I will say at a PPW show, Ronda decided to come to one day wearing tan leggings, and I thought she wasn't wearing pants.
No, that happens a lot when people wear tan leggings. Not to her. I mean, like you see someone wearing tan leggings, like, you got pants on?
She goes, I will get you guys for that. She'll never tune into ours. We love you to death. We actually pitched a show for you, Rhonda. We have a whole Camp Leapfrog based around you. We just pitched it. Ronda Vision. You're gonna be a sorcerer who takes over all.
Hey, how about AJ Styles and Claire Lynch and the whole thing where the storyline was AJ was supposedly banging what was her name?
Dixie Carter.
Yeah, Dixie Carter. But then it was
Carter's
Claire
daughter,
Lynch.
I thought.
No, the storyline was like AJ kept getting all these world title opportunities and stuff because he's banging.
And they quickly switched it.
Yeah, and then they switched it to Claire Lynch, but she was an awful actress, and that segment was one of the worst ever.
Yeah,
and then they just dropped it totally.
I think she worked at Universal Studios. She was like olive oil or something like that.
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of interesting. Maestro, do you have a favorite wrestling love angle?
I mean, I was pretty much gonna say anything with Mark Henry and Sexual Chocolate. Just any of that stuff, like the Mark Henry China thing. Like that
this is kind of a dark spot again. I know we're trying to talk love and prosperity, but you're wearing Owen Hart gear. You can actually chalk up possibly Owen's death because he refused to do a love angle. Yeah. They wanted to book him as doing a love angle with somebody, and he was like, I'm married, and I'm not doing an angle where I'm cheating on my wife. And they were going to use his actual wife and everything. Yeah, he's like, I'm not doing it. And he's like, can I just be the blue blazer? And then
they kind of did that with they went to do a Bulldog's wife too.
Yeah,
they kind of did like
and then
Shawn was banging.
He chose to do the blue blazer, and we all know how that story ended. Sad.
That was the thing where she accused Shawn. That was when Bulldog was.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Of like sexually harassing her.
Yeah, Shawn, Sonny, and Chris Candido. That's an interesting love angle that turned into a guy just kind of driving himself crazy.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite ones from back in the day was, it wasn't really a love triangle, but it was somebody's wife getting involved, was Rick Rude putting Cheryl Roberts on the tights.
That was fantastic. I kind of like when Dusty took Baby Doll too. I'll tell you how to treat a woman, Daddy. You do not treat a woman like that. Tell her bless you. This is how you treat a perfect 10, Baby Doll.
I think, the greatest love story in modern times, obviously, Ric Flair and Lacey Evans is interesting.
yeah.
AEW has Tony Schiavone and Britt Baker.
Oh, yeah. That's one. I like
there's a lot of chemistry there.
There's a great one with Dusty after Baby Doll turns heel, where he's like just freaking out because he's like, they went to Hawaii with my Diners Club card, baby. Talking about like $4,258 on cheap wine and booze.
NXT, I mean, legit.
Was there ever a relationship in NXT storyline? I guess Candice and Johnny.
I don't know if they had like a shoot one.
Marina and Roddy were talking about.
Okay, yeah. That's
yeah. Oh, we actually used Velveteen Dreams. Velveteen was like going after.
Oh yeah, remember that? Yeah.
Let's not talk about Velveteen Dream and
relationships.
Yeah, like going after people.
Yeah, it's a bad move there. WWE.
I don't think AEW has really had other than Tony and Britt. There's no like, I like her. They're kind of, but it's only on Being Elite, kind of pushing Orange Cassidy and what's the Alien girl, Chris Statlander.
Yeah, and they also have a real life wedding.
I totally forgot.
Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford.
And then they got married for real last year.
Yeah, isn't that terrible? Because that segment was awful.
Yeah, I thought for sure they were going to do a spin where Rusev was with Penelope, and they were going to do the whole like
and beat the hell out of that little punk, and then push him to main.
Just like do the exact opposite of what happened to Rusev at WWE, just to completely throw sand.
At least he was aware of that. No. I know what happens. I went through this before.
Rusev and Lana, they openly said their relationship online and got punished for it. Meanwhile, 4 other couples are doing the same thing
during the storyline. Lana was with Dolph Ziggler, and she was 80s Lana, and then they just happened to get engaged. She had to post that picture, and then ruin their careers.
Yeah.
Well, in Vince's eyes.
Dolph Ziggler, I mean, he's a guy who had plenty of relationships in WWE.
Hey,
One of them being Sunny.
hey, he claims that.
Well, the claims, there's photos of it.
No, I didn't see that.
She
Wow.
took photos of it, yeah.
Amy Schumer too, not a wrestler, but Amy
Yeah,
Schumer.
yeah.
Amy Schumer and John Cena.
John Cena, they said banged a lot on this day.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the Bellas either. Daniel Bryan.
Bellas?
And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
there's a lot of
Nikki Bella.
that one's successful. That one's still going pretty well. I'm sure Bella's not dating Daniel Bryan because he's Daniel Bryan and he's just a really nice guy.
Well,
the Bellas look for love, not fame.
It's so funny because if you remember back in the day, when Daniel Bryan was first coming in, they did a thing where the Bellas had this bet where they were trying to become like the first one to sleep with Daniel Bryan because they heard he was a vegan and they thought they said virgin.
Yeah, that was the storyline.
And then it winds up that Daniel Bryan was dating Gail Kim the whole time. That was like the payoff to the angle.
I think when it comes to love and professional wrestling, I think the winner is clearly Triple H. I mean, the guy.
Oh, you mean real what?
Yeah,
life?
he stepped in it right there. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think. Maybe didn't what's his
He
name?
was the guy who was with Shawn Michaels, who pretty much ran professional wrestling because he had the thumb on Vince.
Yeah, Larry Zabisco married what's his name's daughter.
Gail
And,
Ganya,
was AWA champion to the end.
And I think the only person who was close enough to Vince to have actual control of stuff was probably Shawn, and now Triple H is.
Hogan did too back in the day. On the flip side of that, we were talking about Baby Doll earlier. Dusty Rhodes would always give her crap for being with Sam Houston because he was low on the card.
That's funny.
Why are you with the jobber, basically?
Why you with the Jabba Daddy?
All right,
real
well,
man.
let's wrap this up. We're at the 145 mark.
Well, I mean, I guess the moral here is love doesn't always work out in wrestling, and that's why now more than ever we do need Camp Love Frog, which will be coming in about an hour and a half.
Good segment. I like it. And you can watch it free in an hour and a half on Facebook Live. And then you can head over.
That's about an hour. The open swim will be at about an hour. Less than an hour.
7:15. And then you can head over.
What new wrestling relationships could happen here at Camp Love Frog?
Yeah, well, we do have a dating game,
We
so
got a dating game, yep.
And I mean, when love's
my
in the air,
transparent.
in the air, other love may spawn from it. You know,
My prediction: Rhonda the Lunch Lady and Boar. Boar.
What if she cooks them up?
Four.
A couple pork chops.
Boar. I like that.
If he ever wants to do something else, he could just what happened to Boar?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy, that could be.
Gets the snout in there, you know.
Yeah. Went from the court of the boar. Alex is like literally the next I will die. Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you got? I know the plugs are below, but let's get your plugs out there, guys.
Yeah. Maestro?
Yeah, well, I mean, like you guys said, Open Swim starts at 7:15 tonight on the Independent Wrestling Facebook page, and then the main event, main cards on IWTV at 8 o'clock, Camp Love Frog. If you guys are tweeting along with it tonight or at any time, use hashtag LoveFrog to join in the conversation. I know some of us will be tweeting along with it at various points too. So
I'm actually choosing to watch Love Frog first, and then I'm going to go watch NXT.
Yeah, you can always
much respect.
Yeah, you can always watch NXT later.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to support the.
I actually want to watch the NXT.
I was going to go NXT first and then go Love Frog, but I'm changing my move up a little bit here.
Nice.
Yeah,
but I mean, you can stay tuned with all that stuff. We're at Camp Leapfrog across all the social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Also, High Tension Wrestling at High Tension HTW across all the different platforms.
Well, real quick too, I want to give you a plug. When you listen to Camp Leapfrog, there's amazing musical scores in there, and one of the things I look forward to every time is what music we're going to get, and that's all done by you, the maestro.
Oh, hence the name.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope to hear some cool love inspired wrestling songs.
You might.
Again, without giving any spoilers, just I would say stay tuned. That's all.
You might.
I mean, when I think love,
good surprises.
When I think love, I think of just a set of beautiful women singing in harmony.
I'll bring that back from there night.
So yeah.
As always, stay tuned to the very end of the credits there's always a surprise or two.
Ooh,
That's
after
where-
credit. That's when Thanos comes.
That's when WandaVision's thing.
Yeah.
When Ronda comes.
After WandaVision comes out.
Yeah.
It's right after she got gored, though.
Oh. Well, hey, what she does in her own time is her business.
That's her business. She lives her life.
It's true.
She's a peach. I love her. Brian, what do you got to plug?
Murder My Dude. Episode 101 will be coming Thursday. We're covering, speaking of love, the Lipstick Killer, one of the oldest serial killers. I think it goes back to the mid-1940s. The mid-1940s, the Lipstick Killer. Maybe they caught him, maybe they didn't.
Well, congratulations on hitting 100 episodes on Murder My Dude. That's an accomplishment. Most podcasts don't make it past 7 episodes, and you're just cracking 100 now.
I've done a lot of them. Did last time. So.
Yeah, that's usually the thing. 7 episodes is a statistical.
Maybe
Really?
Yeah.
maybe something new coming out soon.
Yeah,
about
maybe a
it?
secondary podcast.
Hey now.
Well, we're excited to
Brother,
announce,
my dude. They talk about the best brothers around.
Yeah. We're excited to announce the new podcast coming out soon, possibly the end of this week or maybe next week. Alex and Tori are making their own podcast.
I forget the name, but it sounds cool.
I don't know if the name's officially announced
okay.
yet.
Okay, then maybe.
Yeah, so we'll let them handle all that. But Alex
soon.
and Tori are going to team up and do a show for the IWP network. And I already said that I'm willing to do a show for the High Tension Wrestling Network if they need us.
Oh, cool.
I have no problem doing shows for them. Like they're putting content on our channel, we'll do the same thing, vice versa, because that's how we roll. So I'm very excited to announce that. If you like everything else that's going on here at the IWEP Network and Tornado Tag, we just now finally finalized. Tornado Tag has its own platform. So now we're not sharing it with the IWP Network. So if you want to go back and listen to back catalog,
So you just
search Tornado Tag Podcast in your audio platform, it should pop up.
and that's all that comes up in that feed.
Yep,
Just-
and then
just the
all you're
Tornado
going to get in
Tag.
that feed is Tornado Tag, so you can go back and listen to past episodes. It makes it a lot easier for you guys to binge listen if you want to. I do not know if it's available on iTunes yet. Nikolai said it was showing up, but I don't have iPhone, so I can't check it. Well, you have a tablet here, right?
iTunes usually does take a little bit because you need there's an extra approval process.
Yeah, it always takes like a thing.
He's going to pull it up real quick.
I
hon.
still have the
Might I recommend looking into the back catalog after the first Camp Leapfrog over the summer. Maestro and Alex came on and they gave us a little bit of almost like a director's commentary behind the scenes as we ran it down.
Yeah, and
That
maybe
would be fun to see,
we can do. Tornado Tag is showing up on iTunes, so if you do subscribe on iTunes, a 5-star review.
I think it's
would
just
help.
Apple Podcast now. I don't think iTunes is a thing.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
Apple Podcast. A 5-star review would help kindly if you guys can give us a subscribe and give us a review.
There's no ratings yet, but watch this. 5
Boom.
stars.
We got a 5-star.
Oh,
maybe
RBD just rate it.
Maybe we patted our own stats a little bit, but we'll never tell. Andy, what do you got to plug?
Well, we just plugged that. We plugged Truth Behind Illusion.
You have a new T-shirt coming out.
I do. I have 2 in the works, and I forget the T-shirt website, so I really got to find out. I just like totally
But
blanking off.
the art was done by Tori.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my Spawn T-shirt will happen for me, just me. You
Yep.
just want a just me shirt for wrestling.
Andy hasn't had a solo T-shirt in a long
Yeah,
time.
many years. And then me and Matt Turner have our Star Wars one,
And there's 2 blue
Tag Wars.
So 2 solo shirts and
Yes.
2 tag team shirts coming.
Yeah, well, only one solo shirt.
Only one.
Yeah, only one. Yeah.
Okay. And then 2 tag team shirts.
Yes, yes. You have another one, but I don't know what it's gonna sell because it's like me and him versus Masawa and Kawada, which is like a very deep cut for New Japan or All Japan fans.
Yeah.
So then we might not make as many as those.
Yeah.
Here's something else too. You guys, Blue and Gold, Team Blue and Gold will be in action on March 6th. That's only a few weekends from
Yes,
now.
I forgot.
It's
In
Scranton.
Yes.
Wow.
It's going to be Saturday the 6th at 7 o'clock at Signature Boxing and Fitness in Scranton.
How's that happening?
I don't know. They ran a show there before, but I heard they had like actually like 2 shows or 3 shows, but they're only like an hour show or something like that. And then they had like so many fans. I'm sure it's all distance and everything, but
Interesting.
I don't know. I've never been there before, so I don't know the
It's a weird time to run
ins and the
shows.
outs. So I mean, they're just wrestling's starting to pick back up. So I don't know who we're wrestling. I don't
Yeah.
think it's finalized yet. So
Awesome. Well, we want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. I mean, Alex, you're becoming a staple here, and the Maestro. Anytime you want to come talk wrestling, you're more than welcome to.
Anytime.
We could add you to our little group chat if you don't mind and getting spammed with messages.
Nope.
And this way you know the topics, so you come in a little maybe better prepared. But yeah, we crammed a lot into this episode. We talked about 2 shows coming up, and then we did a little topic for you guys when it says love in professional wrestling. We were hoping to inspire you guys to find your love in professional wrestling.
or
but,
love of just wrestling in general.
I think we're
fine too.
we're batting 20% when it came to our love stories.
It's kinda
Good
hard.
luck though. Hopefully tonight on Camp Blood Frog, it'll all work out for Eric
Yeah.
Lee. I don't see any way it could possibly
No.
degenerate into something crazy. And
Yeah.
There will definitely be one relationship that works out pretty well tonight.
Okay, good.
Good.
I hope it
And who
works
knows?
out.
Maybe one in real life might transpire. You never know.
Maybe a
You
real
never
life-
know.
It could be real life too. You never
may
know.
be real life as
Could
well.
go to
Who
the real-
knows? You know, you got people meeting people.
but
Yeah,
you'll definitely have to wait till the end for that.
yeah.
well, I don't know, Alex. I think when you're, you might be going a little out of your league with Killian. I don't know if that's going to work out.
I may have to set my sights a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Or, who knows?
I'll tell you what, Killian be posting those thirst traps, boy. He'd be posting those photos on his Instagram sometimes. He'd be, Killian be getting it. Guy's a stud. Guy's a stud. I'm a big fan of Killian. All right, that'll do it.
And pretty good when the bell rings too.
Yeah.
Pretty good when the bell rings. Pretty good when the microphones are turned on. When it comes to the pro wrestling world, there's not much Killian can do. We're gonna end the
Can't do.
yeah can't do. Sorry, can't do. We'll end the show putting Killian way over.
There's not much you can do, you son of a bitch. And next time I see you in that ring, I'm gonna pull that curly hair straight.
You guys had a great match.
I know. I want to
love see
wrestle
you-
again.
Yeah, I would like to see you guys in a one-on-one.
I thought we would outbreak, so we might still have an outbreak. It hasn't yet.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
you guys were the Iron Man of
Yes.
of the
One and
Rumble.
two,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. He's a good guy. He's a good wrestler.
That's a
Good
match
worker.
I would like to watch. You and Killian.
Yeah,
work.
I'm all for it.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Here's some. I almost hit end stream. That's not what I want to do. Got to play that music, boys.
Until then, I love you. Not that.